Okay. Good after you guys. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the closing argument. LEC is causing problem for people, so as a result, we been a little bit late because of LEC and other technical issues. But we on the show. We hang on. But it's good to be back. A lot is taking place in Liberia. Um, as you're aware, the impasse at the house continues, and people are right now. There are meetings going on tonight as we speak. Things may change in the next few hours. There'll be a lot of development that may change, but the fight continues. We'll look forward to see what happens, but let's wait and see what's going on. We are monitoring a lot of places and so forth, but we'll see what happens from there. It's Liberia for you and myself. Eugene W. Am I sending you a link for you to come on tonight? Eugene W. coming on us tonight? Say yes or something. I'm sending the link. Eugene W. Come on the show. Let's have a good show tonight. Eugene, can you answer, please? But yeah, we so the issue about the speaker reports coming from there says that a lot of meetings been taking place, and we're only waiting to hear from them. But I can say tonight that the speaker block, they are having some serious discussions going on there as we speak tonight, and but as we came on the show, the speaker remained defiant that he's not going to resign. But got a lot of ongoing talks taking place. But we just wait to see what happens. Hey, Eugene, she's at work. Eugene, anyway, one day we'll have you. So we just continue to wait. But in the meantime, let me call my reporter and find out for him. Let him tell us. Let him tell us what's going on at our end. So let me welcome Eugenia GW, Otelo Swa, Josiah Masale, and all of those who are watching the closing argument from far. Okay, hold on a minute. Samson. Yes. Want you to give us update about what's happening within the impasse at the legislature. You ready to get? You ready now? You live. You ready? Yeah. What's happening? What's the latest news at the legislature right now?
The Senate or the House of Representatives?
Both. Everything happening on Capitol Hill. Want to hear what happening?
All right, no problem. No problem.
You live. You live. You live. Go ahead.
All right. So today I was in the Senate to cover the hearing of Louis Brown, Ambassador Louis Brown, and Ambassador designated Al Hassan Conte, who was facing on the president nomination for their appointment on. Al Hassan Conte is expected to represent Liberia as ambassador at large as ambassador to America, and Ambassador Louis Brown is also expected to represent Liberia at the United Nations General Assembly. And we spent like 5 hours in that hearing where they both ambassadors designated by the president gave their CV and their own personal experience on how diplomacy run. And that entire hearing was chaired by Senator April Dawas Delo and co-chaired by Senator Sal Joseph, who is also Senator of Mosurado County. Today, to why in session, we also got too many information that were coming in from the House of Representatives too. We got information that Mema Breeze, there was an ongoing meeting today. There was a meeting held today, SD Cooper Road, at the home of Annie Ator, Representative Annie Ator from Markibi County. She was the host for that meeting for the speaker blog. She has, Mema Breeze from Bon County expressed her disappointment in the speaker as to the delay on the Liberian people work. So she decided today want to return to the country. So,
but Samson, you're breaking up. Go ahead.
All right, you getting me now?
I'm getting you now, yeah.
All right, so just so you all know, this is a permanent representative to ECOWAS. She was elected on that position. So today, Mema Breeze withdrew her support from the speaker blog. She stood neutral. In her press statement, she said she was standing neutral. She won't be supporting the speaker in this entire crisis. And today, too, we also listen to Representative Yeka Koroba, who also actually their support Mema Breeze. Sina Norman, who is also a personal friend to Speaker Kofi. Representative Koroba has explained details about how Representative Sina Norman got into the House of Representatives. According to Representative Koroba, he said influence of the Speaker Kofi that Representative Sina Norman got into the House of Representatives through the Speaker personal cash. It was very heated situation today at the ground of the Capitol building. Told the Speaker did not appear at his office as usual, like the way he normally appeared.
Yeah.
But too many crossover conversations have been in the corridor. Some we can confirm, some we cannot. There's a rumor currently that another is expected to cross on tomorrow, who is one from Sano County. He's expected to tomorrow. It has not been confirmed by us yet. I tried calling him, but he did not pick my call. Text he read and did not respond. So I cannot confirm whether or not he will cross over. But there is a speculation that he might cross over. There is also a speculation that there is an ongoing conversation between Eddie Atodure and District number 1, Mosurado County, representing the seat, Rudy Barry, who also expected to cross over tomorrow. We are not sure, but we have been also seeing Facebook posts too from the ruling Unity Party, the youth chairman of post in 30 minutes, stating that and if you cannot cross over now, don't from now to 12 o'clock, we don't expect you to cross over, remain to where you are. So it's a clear indication that the Unity Party is supporting the speaker removal. Just so you all know, the Unity Party is supporting the speaker removal. Their youth chairman is personally involved in doing mobilization. It's also confirmed that former Representative Moses Akawa was at RLJ today. He visited RLJ. According to Moses Akawa's grade, when we spoke to him, he confirmed to us that he went there on a bit. According to him, he spoke with Alva June, who is also a representative of Mark County, trying to convince him for him to endorse the speaker. At 8 o'clock today, we saw Representative Taiwan making a Facebook post saying checks not checked out on the comment section. A commenter went there saying they stay a space he's also a panelist for the closely argument. He went there and said there is a space for you in the majority block. He said the direct quotation from what Representative Taiwan, who is also direct representative for ECOWAS and chair on foreign affairs in the House of Representatives, said was never, no, the Liberian people are watching, never we are joined, I stand with the Lord. So tomorrow we expect too many updates, but we will be there for full information on what will occur tomorrow. For now, I can only confirm to you that Member Mensah testing herself on Speaker Kofa staying neutral, but all other information concerning the speaker's resignation is false and misleading. It's, sources from the speaker blog confirmed to me that the speaker will never resign. The speaker reaffirmed his support to what he previously said, that he, until the 49 senator is acquired, he will not back down or resign to anything until the 49 senator is acquired.
Well, so that means that, but from what I'm hearing from you, it appears that people, the guys, the speaker block is being infiltrated and is breaking, it's cracking, and apparently the speaker may not continue to have that block holding in the next 24 hours, because today is Wednesday, tomorrow is session day, and definitely we look forward. We see a lot will happen tomorrow. On Thursday we see. So for all indication, especially so as soon as the budget was submitted, people knew that things would have happened, because the budget it's all about the money. It's all about the money, Liberian people. It's all about the money. Once that budget passed, was submitted to the so-called majority block, we knew that people will start to break away, because they're threatening them with holding the benefits, the pay, and everything, and they fell for it. And the people lives on the tax, the government money. It lives on the money. That's what it lives on. So they're not going to easily. They couldn't hold their ground no more. So apparently that's what we see happening. But
so quick information while I was trying to provide quick information. There is a quick information coming in from the speaker blog that the Representative Edis Noah won't cross, according to my source, is 100% confirmed. He won't cross. That's for the block of the majority. He won't cross over. He just confirmed to me in my inbox that he remained committed in supporting the rule of law, and whatsoever conversation coming up is made. But previously, when I texted, he just read my conversation, my message. He didn't respond to it, so he just confirmed in my inbox that he won't cross over.
Well, I mean, not everybody's going to go. I mean, there are people who will live and who will stand with you throughout, and it's obvious. Not everybody will leave you, will abandon you. There are people who stand for certain principles in their life. They're not going to easily give up, and it is true. It's because if he still have about 26 person with him still, he will be there, and so we expect anything to happen, you know. So far, uh, that's how things looking. And Ben Jonah, good to see you, brother.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Oh, we got high blood pressure. What's that? What kind of thing you put that? So?
That's my show name.
Yeah, Samson, before I let you go, so can you confirm about the meetings that are being held tonight?
Yeah, so I can confirm that there is currently an ongoing meeting for the speaker block. That meeting is to find a common ground, or because so here is it. Yeah, let me just break this news to you. There are some members from this who are currently being mesmerized by those within the majority. Some of them are being promised to have allocation within the budget. Some of them are being promised committees to chair, and some of them are being mesmerized. If chair is not taking, the main purpose of that meeting tonight, the current ongoing meeting, is because some of them mind are being made up to endorse the majority bloc because there is a promise for them there is a promise for allocation within the budget. Some of them are being promised project within their various districts. Some of them are being promised cash within the budget. While some of them are being promised project within their district. So the mesmerization is ongoing. And then so the block of the speaker decided to call an emergency meeting that is currently ongoing. And trying to see how best they could have those guys. We already 26 members holding tight together, not betraying each other, and to see how best they can make the majority block having the 49 legit. If they cannot have the 49, meaning the speaker won't resign. But the majority block, I can assure you that the majority block is currently pushing.
Well,
as we thought they are currently pushing harder as we thought they would.
Break it up though.
We cannot confirm to you what will happen in the next 12 hours, but I'm confirming to you that there is a current ongoing mesmerization.
He's breaking up though. You can't hear him.
On promises being made to them.
Okay, Samson, thank you so much. We look forward to you tomorrow covering the Capitol building. We will look forward to hearing from you tomorrow. Get a good night rest and let us see what happens tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much.
All right, boss. Thank you.
Okay, I just got up. I mean, this is interesting. Tai Wongbe just wrote on his page, he said, we intend to set a precedent in this country that the law is the law and must be respected. Honorable Councilor J. Fonati Kofa will never resign. Nuclear option activated. Wow, I got to call him to find out what's the nuclear option. But Jonah, join us.
Yeah.
Talk. Say something to us.
Look, I saw Tao when we post, and I am of the same courage, and I hope that they can hold together. Even today, I said, even if these guys get the 49, Flanty should not resign. Let them come to the house and remove him. Let people be able to show themselves as to say, I am saying I don't want this man. He should not resign. It can even be all of them. Let him set that precedent that this was what happened. Because resigning will be that they bully him out of his position. No, he should not. If everybody leave, let them go back to the chambers and vote them and then vote him out. They should not. Look, these things are hard decisions. When people say your head is hard for something that you really believe, look, man, someone is. Anyway, I will stop here for now because I have a story to tell. But I'll wait until let people come in. What's up, everybody?
Oh man, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Look, I'm afraid right now. To be honest, I'm afraid that this battle here is no more on the moral compass. You know, the lawmakers, even the 30. Yesterday, I saw my friend Bernard Blue Benson shifting to the other side, and I was very, very disappointed. Very, very disappointed. And if there's a man that he sat with, they did help him a lot. And if you can see him break away and say he's going to the other side, I think it's embarrassing. And I'm afraid that group behind the speaker may not last. I'm afraid. I'm very afraid. I don't want him to give in. But if you got people who really bent, who you trust, you sit where you eat, where you talk, you help, you get everything for them, and it starts turning for you, then that it's not a good sign. And
no, it's not a good sign.
Chairman, seeing Bob Blue, seeing the others, welcome Sarah Dopu, we'll introduce you later. But seeing those guys, then seeing a guy like Bernard Blue Benson shifting, seeing other people, it make me just hold my head and just tremble, because you know what? Of everybody, if man like Bernard Blue Benson can shift to the other side, I don't know how many people that trust to speak will even be there with the speaker again. I'm afraid. I'm very afraid that this battle, it will be a tough time for the speaker. I'm very afraid. I don't support what's going on, but it just shows something that is called wickedness in high places. Wickedness in high places, and that's what's going on right now. You know, very sad. Very, very sad.
Well, let us welcome for the first time Ms. Sarah Dopu to the closing argument. One of the guest panelists. People been asking her for more females, so we're trying to see what we can do. Coming as guests, let's see what happens. But we love to have her. We appreciate us. Ms. Dopu she's not strange to Liberian politics. She's very active on the social media, very active in the political arena. She don't have our readings more post today. People are fighting her on her post, but she was fighting back. So she's somebody who another firebrand who will fight back. But Ms. Dopu, welcome to the closing argument, and Dr. Peabody, Robert Gakwa, and our friend Ben, and so forth. But welcome and good to see you. And we'll give you opportunity to at least say a few words before we move forward.
Anyway, I want to say thank you to you guys. Thank you, Timberlane. Thank you to all of the panelists on here for inviting me. I've been following the show for a very long time. I'm very passionate about my country as well with regards to what is going on in our country. So I'm very happy to be here to give my input, to give my insight on some of the discussions we're going to be having. I'm not a politician, but I combine sense with a lot of other things to make decisions. So, everything that I say here would be something of my own conviction. I'm not representing any political party. I usually support, or I do support the CDC, but my whatever I'm gonna be saying here, my input is just my own. It's coming from my own conviction, what I believe or what I see, to be the right thing for our country. So I just want to say thank you to you guys for having me on, and thanks to our followers as well.
Thank you. Robert Gagwa, welcome.
Thank you, my friend.
Got a lot to talk about today, and so let us make some progress. Robert, you've been following the developments in the last 24 hours. What's going on, man? What's your take on what happened in the country?
Well, we still where we are. We've been for the past few weeks. Not much have changed. We're hearing all of these stories that has no facts to it. And I agree with the communication that came out from the speaker's office, which I think these are all distractions. Listen, if there are someone called me today from the majority of the blog and said this is over. This is over. Okay, we have 5 representatives that have signed to commit. So what are they waiting for? So it's a different process to sign, and then you have to wait one more week to move over. Just do what my good friend did yesterday. And by the way, I've reached out to him and I've expressed my disappointment, and I know he's watching. Just do what Representative DJ Blue did yesterday. He walked over to the John Chambers, right, to the majority black. And so, look, I think this is all delay tactics. But I want to commend Representative Tai Wongbe. I said on his page today, and our own brother here, Alexander, was trying to convince him that it was still time to move over, and he said, "Never, never, never, never would I." One thing I like that he said, he did not mention his love for Nati Kofa, and I think people miss this point. People who are standing by the law are standing by the law. The law have got nothing to do. The law and respect for rules and processes have got nothing to do with your own sentiment with Fonati's performance. But when Fonati or anyone else does not perform as you would like them to perform, there are certain laws and rules and procedures that we must all go through to remove him. This is the point, and I like that he did not mention, "Oh, Fonati is my leader." He said, I will never go contrary to the law. And so the law is the law. We've said this repeatedly. And I don't speak Bassa. I'm from Bassa, but unfortunately, the time we were supposed to have been learning Bassa, we were kicked out by bullets. So unfortunately, I don't speak Bassa. I know the day I run for office, I will have to run Maserati County, because the way I already have bad blood in Bassa, by the power that be, they will question my ethnicity. The men don't speak Bassa, the men are American men. But the law is the law. You got 49 members, you got 49 persons. Go to the damn place, give him due process. The speaker will recuse himself and go through the process. This is where we are, Timberland. There's no other update. There's no other update, right? And so that's what it is. Until these guys have 49, Fanatikova must stand firm. You see, we must learn how to respect others in our country. Part of the reason why we are so far behind, part of the reason why we have the executive so confused, submitting the budget to the presiding officer, not knowing that the presiding officer is the speaker, right? It's because we don't have no respect for processes and rules and laws. That's it. This is the reason why when people return back home, they act like they don't come from a disciplined environment. They do whatever they want to do because the laws are not enforced. People have no consequences for their actions. But this time around, Fonati is doing the right thing. We may not like the way he's led. We may not, I don't think he's been an opposition voice. I don't think he's in short check and balance. I think he has given this executive almost everything they've wanted. But what he would not give, and what he should not give, and what no decent Liberian must not give, is to an action that contradicts the rule of law in our country. And so history will judge all of us. For those of us who have platforms, for those of us who have influences, for those of us who people look up to us, for those in position of authority, like Representative Tai Wongbe and others, like Representative DJ Blue, history will judge us. And I think this process is exposing men and women of integrity and men and women that basically are led by the belly. I think this is what this process is exposing, and I love that. This stuff will be on the ballot, and we'll discuss it from now to 2029 and even midterm election. Thank you.
Good. Let me just throw this around. Maybe we can weigh in there. First of all, Robert and Sarah and Ben. First thing, Robert brought something up, but I will say this first. So assume the people have 49. It's a process to remove the speaker, though. They won't just have 49 and the speaker just
yes.
They have to go through a session. Somebody got to go, and this we're having, today on a lot of different conference calls. We're having discussing this thing, and somebody said the fact of the matter is that if they have the 49, they go to session. Their fear is because yes, the catch. If you put it on the floor, you say, okay, yeah, petition. The speaker says, okay, I'll recuse myself as presiding officer. He steps aside. and say John Brown is the presiding officer, even the deputy speaker can be the presiding officer. Now, you put your petition to the floor, say, yeah, the council on the speaker, why want you to resign, to step aside. And then the speaker, according to their own rules, he has a due process. He has to defend himself. He comes to the floor and defend himself against what they're saying, accusing him of doing. After the argument and counter arguments, the presiding officer says, okay, that put the matter to vote. Now, a secret ballot. Their fear is if they try it, if they try it and they don't have the votes, even though for the 9% say they join you, if they doesn't have the vote, the case is dead. They try to win. He remains speaker.
They want to bully him out.
That's the fear. So, and one of the issues. So, I want you guys to look at that first. The second one is that, so again, as soon as the budget was submitted to the majority bloc, people started having defection. So, yeah, I want you guys to weigh in on these two issues. About this.
So here's where I was saying.
And then the budget be submitted, and then immediately people start hearing about money. They're going to hold their Senate. The benefits will be held. Everything. So they started to just play with Liberian people now. What you guys have to say about that?
Before you come in, Ben, just a point of correction. Tomolin, don't do the executive work here. As far as we know, the budget was not submitted to the majority bloc. It was submitted to the deputy chief clerk.
Correct.
The executive mansion have not given clarification as to who is the presiding officer. Now we know, so they're still torn apart with that. So go ahead, Ben.
Yeah. So here's what is supposed to happen. They're supposed to go to the main chamber, and the speaker will gavel them in, and someone will make a motion for him to recuse himself. So when that motion is made, the speaker gets a sign, and then another motion made for Thomas Farah to get in. Somebody from the speaker's side would definitely make a motion that Thomas Farah is also conflicted, that he cannot preside. Look, there will be a lot of counter argument. These guys know that Kofa is not going to go down just easily, because somebody from Kofa's side would definitely say Thomas Farah is conflicted. He can never. He would never get a fair trial under Thomas Farah, and they can still make more argument that for the fact that they are all gathering to one place alone, all of them are conflicted.
Right.
And if that argument is made, they have to find some kind of a solution, but it will be chaotic. That's right. Their only way out is for him to resign. And I pray hard that he does not. Even if he does not, they can get all the 49. Let him agree he should not resign. Because if he does not resign, they can't remove him. They must go on the floor and do their work. Go ahead, Sarah.
So what I think here is, like you're saying, Ben, what I really think is they might not give him due process. From everything I've seen or I'm saying, first of all, the budget was given to the wrong person. The budget was supposed to be given to the speaker. They gave it to the so-called majority black. And now they are coming up with all of these things. People are crossing over to their group and all of that. So I still to be corrected, but I'm very doubtful that they're going to give him due process. I think they're just going to go rogue as they have been doing. They're going to just, take everything away from the speaker. And I don't know what the process is going to be like in terms of the speaker's position with regards to the law, because the law still respects him. The law still recognizes him as the speaker. Everything else they are doing over there, as far as I'm concerned, is illegal. So if they're going to give him, even if they get it 49, they're going to give him a due process, that remains to be seen, but I highly, highly doubt it.
I agree, Robert. As I was saying earlier, I'm just at the point I've reached. I'm afraid that the clock is ticking on Chairman Kofa, Speaker Kofa, because you got people that cannot be trusted. That's just the fact. You got people who will say, who will do this. We will make sure everything be together. We'll make sure this won't happen. We'll not leave. At the end of the day, look, that's what I was saying. My own friend, Bernard Blue Benson. You can not say all, but Bernard Benson has said how the speaker stood with him. He took the speaker all in area in Burrillville, everywhere he took Fontaine there with him. He said Fontaine helped him a lot. And you sit there in the last minute because of your past budget, you won't go get money, so you jumping. I'm afraid. We know that the budget was illegally presented to the group. But that's Liberia. That's a place that nobody honors the law. They don't give a fake for law. They don't respect no law in that country. Unfortunately, that's why you see a lot of investors will not go to Liberia now, because if you have a country where the executive can violate the law, even the judiciary can even violate their own law that's in the book, who gonna respect you? How are you gonna win a case? You're not going to win a case. And unfortunately, for the team will run to the court will not help him. Unfortunately, that's the country we find ourselves from, and nothing will happen in that country. That's why you see development is stalled. I mean, you saw Mo Ali going to the illegal block. You saw the minister of transport go to them. The next thing preceded by, the minister of internal affairs, transport minister. The next thing was preceded by a budget sent to them, and all of that. Then I'm afraid Fontaine will have a problem. He should not resign. I don't think he should resign. But if you got the executive intimidating you like that, the executive trying to throw you under the ball and make it look so light, like you're nobody, I'm afraid that's the country. Liberia, no law. The Supreme Court will make their own law and then contradict themselves. What kind of country is that?
But I'm afraid. I'm not afraid, but it's clear now that can you let me throw it this way. When you say the president is involved in this whole thing, you think the president is involved, the vice president, think they are involved in this whole speaker removal?
100%, 100%. I agree.
Why you think so?
Well, have he ever said a word on what is going on? Have he ever come up to address the nation as president of the Republic of Liberia? Have Joe Biden ever come up and let the Liberian people know, the Liberian people, that he's accountable to? Has he come up to say, well, I will speak to the nation today on what is going on in the country? Let me address that and say, have you heard from him? Did he authorize? He said he was not aware of those guys going to the illegal block. What did he do? Did he say or do anything? Frank, all right? If the internal affairs minister other than went there, nothing he said. Up to now, it's been almost a month. The president of the Republic of Liberia have not even spoken to the nation on the state affair, the constitutional crisis that you have in that country. He has not come up to say a word. He's on honeymoon visiting the family in Freetown.
But Tumalin, to answer your question, they said, well, actions speaks louder than words, right? If the president was not involved, or if the president did not support the actions of the majority bloc, then the president would have followed the process of a budget submission, and the process is very ABC. The budget is normally physically submitted to the presiding officer, which is the Speaker of the House of Representatives. He then forwards it to the chief clerk for plenary, right, and so forth and so on. If the Speaker is not available, the budget is given to the Deputy Speaker, and the Deputy Speaker moves on with whatever the process is. The fact that the executive mansion ignored the presiding officer, even though the budget was addressed to the presiding officer and was given to the deputy chief clerk. By the way, I just want to give this information. A lot of people don't know. The chief clerk, up until recently when she got ill, attended the section of Anati Kofa. The chief clerk, after she got ill, the deputy chief clerk, both of them, the chief clerk and the deputy chief clerk, both were attending the session of the speaker. When the chief clerk got sick, the deputy chief clerk went over to the majority bloc, right? And so the question here is, what legal process or what law that permits him to give the budget to the deputy chief clerk when it should have been presented to the speaker? The deputy chief clerk is not a presiding officer. So let's assume that they're recognizing the majority black. Why then would you not give the budget to the deputy speaker? You know, there's politics at play. But when this thing happened initially, I said there's nothing at this magnitude that happens without the awareness of the executive mansion. This is the number 3 most powerful man in the country. And any attempt, as we saw a few weeks ago, to remove him, the way that they attempted to remove him could not have happened without the consultation and the approval stamp of Joseph Yimon Boakai. You cannot convince me in any other way. Okay. And so the fact that they have moved to present the budget in the manner in which they did is indicative of the president's involvement and the president's support for what is happening. If the president did not condone what was happening, the president action will speak to that. The president would have submitted the budget to the speaker, and submitting the budget to the speaker is in no way somewhat his support for the speaker. It's just the process. And this is what we're missing in our country. Following and respecting the laws, processes, and rules has nothing to do with my support for a particular person. This is just what the rules are. And until you follow that process and you legitimately and constitutionally remove the speaker, then that's it. Who is the presiding officer, Timberland? Is the presiding officer the deputy chief clerk? Absolutely not. Who is the presiding officer? The speaker. The speaker have not been removed. And the law is very clear. Every 6 years, the House of Representatives will gather to elect a presiding officer. Who is the speaker? So constitutionally, who does the House recognize as the presiding officer? The speaker. So you write a budget, you address it to the presiding officer, who is the speaker legally, but you submit it to the deputy chief clerk when the speaker is available. Look, this president, I've said over and over, and I would say it with no shame. And my friends, most of my best friends are supporters of Unity Party. They know me. They know where I stand on these issues. And I will say it to the president's face. I will go on radios in Liberia and I will say it. This president is not ready for prime time. This president was never ready for prime time. And the fact that we elected this president because we wanted anything but George Weah. Someone said to me yesterday, I would have supported a toddler, even though Joseph Boakai is a VC, but I would have supported a toddler over George. These are the statements, right? These elementary statements and thinking that got us to where we are today. Because Joseph Boakai has proved to be a disaster, and this is where we find ourselves. But Fanatic Kofa must not resign.
But
he should not resign. Look, let me just say something. So there are 2 things happening here. The first thing is that our president is not a decent human being, and this is what I say. So, common sense tells me if you went to visit me, and while you were at my house and my house caught on fire, you will reach out to find and say, "Hey man, how are things going?" That's just common sense. That is way beyond politics. The second thing here is that let's look at the political aspect and what needed to be done right. This man wrote the speaker asking for an extension that the budget would not be presented on the 8th. What did he write? He wrote the speaker. That means he knew who was the head of this group. Now, when he got ready to act in a disorderly manner, then he addressed the second letter to the chief clerk. So why did you reference the speaker at the first time? Why? It's because he was ready to play this dirty game and act so dishonest. That's why he went and didn't know who was the head of this division. As if somebody can write Liberia while he's there and say, "Oh, you know what? I'm addressing this letter to the office of the vice president." And so since the vice president and the president are in the same executive branch, so the president should have that letter. Can anybody do that? Of course not.
But the IMF supposed to meet with the speaker, the World Bank, and the European Union. I think they had a communication sent. Do you think they will still follow with that meeting? They addressed the speaker. They will be meeting with him, and so forth. You think they will still show up for that meeting?
I think they will, and I think they should. I think they should. Because I mean, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think those people recognize the law and they are on the side of the law. So I think they're going to meet with the speaker regardless, because technically the speaker is still the speaker. He has not been, removed legally. Everything they're doing over there is legal and it's politics.
Sarah, not to interrupt. Don't say technically. Just say the speaker is the speaker.
The speaker,
the speaker, yes.
He is the speaker. I mean, I'm just saying for the choice of words, but at the end of the day, the speaker is the speaker because he has not been removed. These guys feel that they are recognized because the government is dealing with them. The government submitted a budget to all that kind of stuff. But by law, the speaker is the speaker. So I think they should meet the speaker regardless.
I know this is the first time where I've seen people making sense of numbers. So if any group of people, and so people just put themselves together and they say, "Oh, this is quorum." I think that makes absolutely no sense, because for quorum to actually be held, it must be led by the leader of the house. So see the disjointed argument they are making. They're saying, "Oh, now because we have Thomas Farah as a leader, that means we have quorum." So they are only telling you at the time, out of that thing that they were doing without Thomas Farah, they didn't have quorum. That's what they have confirmed time after time. Now, so let's agree to their crazy idea that because you have Thomas Farah, you have a quorum. The fact remains that Thomas Farah does not exist when the speaker is still around, because the speaker is still there. Thomas Farah ceases to exist. I don't know how that is hard to understand. I don't know.
But let me ask you a question. The Supreme Court, right? We're having a discussion today, and somebody said the Supreme Court. Look, Liberia is an interesting country.
I'm telling you.
It should be there to interpret it. But what they have been doing, they have been declining. Every time they say they decline. And people are saying because they tell you, they say, look, you guys budget, you guys money in our budget though. Your budget is tied with the national budget. And as long as the impasse continues, the money will not come because the budget has not been approved. So the Supreme Court now, Justice in Chamber, Yami Gbese, keep on declining. So, and somebody said to me, they're not going to take up that case. Okay? They won't take up the case. I mean, it's all about the money. The money. We've seen it, we see our own eyes. But my thing is that the Liberian people, are they watching? Are they looking what's happening? Because you take it or leave it. Come 2029, if people will go and elect the same group of people again to run the country. It will be the same old thing. Nothing's going to change. But I'm watching. No matter how they think, how this matter ends, there will be a fight. Mark my words, I say today is November 20th. I'm saying it, 2024. If they think, no matter how it ends, the very people you call majority black, they will fight among themselves.
Oh, yes. They will fight among themselves.
But others are saying the speaker should, and which he says he's not going to resign. But members, from what I gathered tonight, members of his bloc that's with him, they are urging him to resign. They're telling him he should give it up. Now, we don't know if he refuses. If he's refused to resign, tell him he's not going to renege on his promise to the people. Then what happens? You think they will leave him alone? And if all of them leaves him, he will be able to, a few persons remains on him. He'll be able to stay and say, "Well, I will stay." Hang on. What are your thoughts about that?
Even if Speaker Kofa is left with two persons, Speaker Kofa must stand on principle. Period. I don't
That's
think
all.
politics is about numbers. But again, in this case, again, like Ben was saying, and I understand exactly where he's going. The process of removing him does not stop at 49. So 49 is the starting point, and then you have to go into joint chambers, due process, and all that stuff like that. Those votes are secret ballots, right? Well, it could be another strategy that folks are trying to convince these guys to come back into the main chambers for due process, and then when it goes to votes, there's no guarantee that you're going to have 49.
No.
There's no guarantee,
You
right?
go, you go to
You
people.
muted, Sarah. Sarah, you muted. You muted, Sarah. You muted.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. You were saying something. What you were saying?
No, I said that's the trick.
You muted. You're muted.
I said this is the tricky part because they don't know what if they all appear in chamber on that process of going through or getting the speaker the due process for them to remove it. Nobody, so they don't know. With all the money they giving people money here, and at the end of the day, people are still behind these lawmakers to the country because we have the next generation to look. If United has been doing this from time to time, removing speakers and here, there, and at the end of the day, at what point do they stop? At what point do we say this is enough? Let's go by the rule of law and give the Liberian people what they deserve, and that is to follow the law. And now you're talking about the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is supposed to be the one to interpret the law. If they are compromised as well, then we're done. We're done.
As things stands, we know things will change tomorrow. Things with the pieces will move tomorrow. We'll see what happens. But there are people who will determine to stay with the speaker. They're not going to compromise. They're not going to step aside. And what the guys, while I'll be on the show, I called two of the people from the majority block. Mama give me people and they're telling me that tomorrow we will see what happens. So I don't know. Let's see what happens. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But at the end of the day, like my question I asked earlier, even if they have it for the 9, you have to you have to do it formally.
Right.
So as long as the man is not resigning, you have to do it formally. You have to go and say, okay, we got any numbers now. So let's go to the session now, and then we put him out on the floor. So would they do it, or would they just say we got for the 9, so it's over now? I mean, if the man doesn't resign, will you say over?
No, it's not over. It's not over.
But listen now, my people, the Liberian people, what are they doing? Because Liberian people are looking at the people violating the constitution of the country, and they're sitting there, they're doing nothing. So if the people decide to get it for the 9 and say that they're not going to go through the right process, will they accept it too? Or they say, well, we just let it happen? I mean, what's going to happen? The Senate passed on bills yesterday, okay? But now the Senate passed on bill yesterday, and now they have a vote that they go to the House for concurrence. Now, who are they sending the bill to? We're looking at Pro Tem Youngly and to find out what happened, because she's the one who's going to send a bill to the House. Will she send a bill to the House, or will they hold onto it? Now, the House have the budget, right? The majority have the budget. When they debate on the budget, the Senate got to concur with the Senate, the President decks for approval. Will Youngly take it from them and say, well, I'm taking it from you guys, or will she say you guys are divided? I mean, what is it?
We went to see. Because
So, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Sarah, go ahead.
no, I was saying I said we wait to see what she do, because at the end of the day, if she doesn't do the same thing with the government sending the budget, Chief Clerk, so then maybe she or follow through with what the executive is doing to the clerk.
So this budget cannot be passed if this budget, and I think these guys know that. The submission of the budget, I think, is a violation of the presentment clause of public, financial management, PFM. this budget cannot be passed without the proper, procedures. So I think these guys, I think it's all bluff. I don't think they're going to attempt to illegally pass this budget. But again, you can't pour anything past these guys. Anything can possibly happen, but I'll wait and see what happens. But again, at the end of the day, I think that Kofi stands on principle and not resign. And this process goes to the end, and he's constitutionally, given due process. And I want to see how many men and women of integrity is left standing behind him. This is so fun. I love this. Tomalin.
You think if Kofi resigns, you think his political career is over?
If Kofi resigns, this is going to happen. If Kofi resigns, I'll be the first one on radio tomorrow to say I will condemn him, number one, and I will also say, because I already don't think that he's exhibited the kind of leadership that we anticipated when he got the speakership. We wanted a divided government, especially given the fact that Joseph Boakai won by a few thousand votes. Not one that obstruct everything, but one that ensures check and balance. We have not gotten that, right? We can question the strength of his leadership all day. I have questioned that, right? And so there's one thing. I think that he gives us hope in this process when it comes to the law, and we can separate the two. Now, if he chickens in this process and succumb to the pressure of the unconstitutional attempt to bully and pressure him to resign, then Kofi will put himself at a place where he's shown weakness in all areas. And politically, I don't think that's good for him. I don't think that's good for him. So, and then also, how do you, if I'm Todd Wongbe, if I'm all the other guys who have been very strong on our position, standing by the law, how do we look at Kofi moving forward, even as a regular flow member? What becomes of his political career? And anyone in his office that's advising him, they got to be smart. I would never advise Kofi to resign at this point. Fight this through, right? This is the last thing he got for him. Fight it through, and history, once and for all, we will forever look. We're gonna go back to this point of time in our history, right? History will judge Kofi and remember Kofi for what he's doing. You remember what happened when Liberty Party went to court? I think Ben alluded to that a few weeks ago. People did not like it. People talk about the size of irregularities. None of that mattered. The exercise that constitutional right to question the election commission, and it did that. And that motivated political parties to go to court with whatever proof that they have. That's what our constitution provides, and that's what we must respect. So Kofi cannot resign. He has no option but to fight this through. He has no option.
So that means his political career will be in jeopardy if he resigns. I think I want to believe it. Okay, but let me ask you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the former president returned to the country today. People are saying they immediately having. I know I was told that they're having some CDC having a meeting, but again, people in the CDC, the party they have saying that the party is also being part of this whole process too, and they are divided. They divided, and from what I'm gathering from the chat room is it's been heated debate going in the chat room, especially as soon as Senator McGill's brother joined the majority black yesterday. But again, for Senator McGill for his defense, you cannot blame him for what happened. His brother is a grown man, and the decision he made yesterday is his own. I don't think McGill influenced his decision. But with the former president returning to the country, you think anything will change?
I think something should have changed a long time when he had a first press conference. Here is why I say so. The people who are arguing are saying this thing, it is political. They say it is not legal. So all they're telling CDC, we're removing your guy, we're using politics. So CDC add political too. And by adding political, that would be by the president making some, whether inflammatory or making some hard statements that if you guys keep doing this thing, we ourselves want to get in the streets and make it political. You just can't allow these guys to bully you and you sit back and you think 2029 you have any chance? No, you have absolutely zero chance. And in fact, if they can do this to Florentine, I bet you right after they succeed, they will want to suspend him now. And they will want to belittle him more. So why not you fight? No, fight for everything that you have. At the appropriate time here, I would tell you, if I let me go back.
So,
yeah. So the issue, I mean, Sarah, you want to weigh in? You think the former president returned today? You think he's going? You think anything will change?
I think she's having connection.
Problem.
Yeah.
She's back now.
Welcome to our show.
So while we wait for her, let me give my opinion on this. I know Lofa just came in; he might want to chime in, but listen, let me ask you this question. You know, does it really matter, right? The influence of a leader. Does it matter whether or not he's in person or he's not in person when it comes to this position he takes?
Do you go closer?
It should not matter.
It shouldn't matter.
But it shouldn't. But the way how, because all of these political parties have always organized around one person, and so you see, UP would do the same with WACA, CDC would do the same with WIA, ANC would do the same with Cummings, and because we have not separate ourselves from these leaders have a whole lot of power when to speak, and that's why George Weah at this point in time is needed to speak. This is a serious crisis going on, and this is supposed to be the opposition for 2029. Hell no.
Yeah, so I don't disagree that he needs to speak. What I'm saying is, I think the party through the press release have been very strong on their position, and which followed with the suspension of lawmakers who did not adhere to the party's position. And so my point is, Timberland, I don't think anything changes. I think, of course, his persons motivate the base. But as you have seen, those guys have been, celebrating the president in numbers out of his persons. I think it motivates the base. But with regards to the action of the party against lawmakers that have gotten themselves involved in this to remove the speaker unconstitutionally, and the party's position, I think he reiterates that process. But I don't think much changes yet. The CDC have taken a position. The party have taken a position. What I would encourage the party to do now is to add on the list of suspended lawmakers who were on the right side of history prior to the list being out, that have crossed over, and add them on that list, because there's a whole bunch of them that got elected under the CDC umbrella, that have disrespected publicly the party's position and the standard bearer's position. But beyond that, they have also weakened the party's position with regards to the rule of law, which I believe will be on the ballot come 2029. So the party should act on those individuals who were not suspended initially. I think that was changed.
Before I come in, but when it comes to that suspension, I don't that suspension there with Toa Fala, I just don't. I've been clear. The suspension is whatever. I think what managed, still managed, because first of all, the minute they suspended Fala, I say, oh yeah, I accept suspension. I was accepting, I will submit the thing, and we haven't heard anything anymore.
Yeah, but he's suspended. He submitted to it, suspended.
Yeah, but come on.
But the president said Thomas Fala does not have the face to return to the party. He's suspended. So let's see what happens.
Now the president in the country. I want to ask the question. Let's see what happens, because look, when you're the stand-up bearer when you're the political leader of the party, you are the most powerful man in the party. Okay, and we expect to see a lot of puzzles, moving puzzles right now. So I want to see what happens before the session tomorrow. what happened before the end by the next week or so, because it shows the president's strength, the former president's strength, because if depending on what the party would do, we'll see from there. He's on the ground. Your physical president is more important than when we fire away. When he on the ground, president, these people will see what happens tomorrow, the next couple of days. But look for coming.
Well, I mean, good evening, and Sis Sarah, welcome to TCA. Great to have you guys on here. Great to be back on here. Couple things. First of all, Roberts, let me say this: the statement from the president about Thomas Fallatt not having a face, his insinuation does not in any way, shape, or form ban Thomas Fallatt from returning. Okay, he's simply insinuating, again, is a form of metaphor. Okay, he does not have the face to come back after what he did to the party. He doesn't think that Thomas Fallatt will return. But again, we have heard so many people who over the time have made statements such as, I can commit to this statement that if we don't win the election, you can, I will resign my position. Akaras Moses Gray made similar statement. After the election, he returned to his position. So I just wanted to kind of clear that out. It was an insinuation that Thomas Fallatt would not return. That was not a statement or to say he would definitely not return to the party. So
But if I may, 30 seconds, but it's up to him. I mean, I would have loved to have him expelled. The party have suspended him, so there's a possibility that the suspension could be lifted. That's up to him. But if it was up to me, I would expel him, and then we see whether or not he has the face to return after being expelled.
right, and that's fine. What's my good? Margaret, leave me alone, man. Margaret, I love you too, Margaret. I love you. But anyway, let me just say this though. In all honesty, there's a couple of things that I actually I was listening from the back earlier, and you guys were speaking of the recent incident at the house. Folks insinuated that there are, some form of, disregard for the law. But I'm still sitting here trying to figure out where is the disregard for the law. If there is one, let me start with this first of all. And I have been constantly saying this, right? I don't have any sympathy for Natif Kofa. Neither do I have any sympathy for Thief 5 in his block. Neither one of them do I care about because they are not in the interests of the people. But if you are to read through the documents, okay, that keep these institutions intact, the Constitution and that of the rules of the House, the very first rule number 1. If any one of you have it, you read rule number 1. Rule number 1, acknowledge Article 38 of the Constitution. Okay. Now, I heard people try to emphasize on the fact that who is to be regarded as the presiding. You are absolutely correct because Article 49 of the Constitution acknowledge the
Sarah.
I'm you guys. Okay. So Article 49 acknowledged the speaker as the presiding. That is, and if you read further in that article, it clearly states to maintain sanity in the House when it is functioning, okay, in good state. why the House is not functioning. It is not in good state, and communication is delivered. Who do you think the chief clerk is going to deliver that communication to, especially in a chaotic environment where the chief clerk at this point in time is not on the side of those who I guess are considered, in quotation, the majority bloc. No, he or she may not submit such communication to those on the side of the minority. And that's why people continue to remind a lot of you guys about the reality on ground. This is simple. This is a political fight. There it is yet to be any disregard for the law. No one has broken the law. The speaker, until the speaker is removed from his position, they are yet to break the law. What they're saying is they have no confidence in his leadership. And in that regards, what they're going to do is they're going to distance themselves. Okay, they're going to distance themselves from his leadership, and they are going to make sure that they're away from it because they have no confidence in his leadership. Now, what he can also do is he can also utilize the same constitution that gives him the power to adjourn often. But remember, that is simply just telling folks, you come to meeting and then we adjourn. That is the extent to which that can go. But what else? He does not have the quorum to run anything else. Let us not give these guys any reason to think that they can continuously bamboozle their way utilizing the Constitution or their rules, because if you are to read through through all of these documents comprehensively, I think all these guys are doing is they're just being the same group of thieves who are trying to use this document to shield themselves from the reality on ground. And the reality on ground is this: they're a bunch of thieves. They have no regards for the people, and they have no intention of changing what is happening today on ground, and that is what they're using. I give you guys references to the different articles and the different rules on the ground in their own document or in the law. Read it. I see nowhere. I hope somebody can really convince me as to where the law is being broken. Then hopefully I can learn from that tonight. But I'm yet to really get that part.
Okay. Private, let me speak to that. You know, when you talk about the husband in disarray, there is only one group that the Constitution still gave a power, and that is to the minority. It did not the Constitution did not recognize the majority. It says that even though he does not have a quorum, he can adjourn. Do you understand why he still has the power to do that? It is because the only person. Hold on. The Constitution did not recognize majority in this instance. It only recognized the minority and said you can adjourn and then compel. What that means is left to interpretation from the Supreme Court. But all he can do is keep going there and then adjourn. And he's working. He's doing what was told that he should do. It did not say when it did not say when a group of guys put themselves together and then they can call themselves they can say we are the leadership. No, the leadership of the House is led by the Speaker. And that is why in most of the things that they have been saying, they've been saying, oh, because we have the Deputy Speaker. Then it comes back to say the Deputy Speaker cannot exist when the Speaker is present. It is as clear as anything else.
Ben, I think you're quoting Article 33 of the Constitution. Article 33 of the Constitution. Article 33 of the Constitution. Yes, it gives them the power, or it gives the minority group the opportunity to adjourn. Okay.
No,
But
say the power. The power. I want to use that word power.
okay, well, okay. It gives them the power. It gives the minority the power to adjourn, because you cannot start any meeting and leave it. But let us look at the actual definition of the word adjourn. Okay, simply state in just is defined terms that you can end a meeting, okay, with the prospect of starting over another day. That in itself, if that in itself is much power for you to use for an entire governance, for governance of an entire group of people, then you should think about it. The only
It
power
did not
that I
end
see,
there. It did not end there.
and
It
that's
went
what I was
on
going
to
to say.
say
The only
they could be compelled.
Yes, they can be compelled, okay,
Uh-huh.
to come to to come to session. Guess who is clothed with the authority to do that? It is the Supreme Court, because they cannot, as a group of people, they cannot go out there and say, "Hey guys, come here, come. You have to be
Right,
in
right.
office." No, because they have to utilize
Uh-huh.
the law. But guess what? What these people are saying, and this is why it becomes more political. That's why we keep telling you guys, don't put your neck on the line for any side here. Both sides are thieves. And I think our focus should be on how we can use both sides to hopefully do the people's job. Because at the end of the
But
day,
look, here
the
is where I
political
get a little
aspect.
frustrated.
Guys, I beg you, please. I beg you, please. Let me just for a few minutes. Justice Janet want to ask him about the case with Sheriff quickly before we get back on our topic. We have Justice Janet, as former Associate Justice Kabina Janet on the line. Robert, you want to start with your question first for the justice, then we move on quickly.
Thank you. It's great to have you. I was hoping you would show up physically on the show, so hopefully you can show up on the show physically to have a formal discussion. But thanks for availing yourself. Quick question: you demanded the living body of your client. Have you gotten his living body yet?
Thank you very much. The last time we met input regarding my client, Mr. Khalif Sharif, they put ordered that Mr. Sharif be living body be brought in court within 72 hours as of the time that the decision was been made or was made. So we left from there with a view that on Tuesday, by the end of the day, that decision will be complied with. But then we went there today. Today was the day we had the assignment to appear. We glad the people for the Ministry of Justice were there. And then the government finally, our discussions, they indicated that in fact they have turned Mr. Sharif over to the government, the military government in Guinea. So when they said that, we said, well, that's not what the court had indicated. The court had said, bring the man to bring his living body to court today. So why they said, well, that's what happened. And there were senior officials of government that were involved in it, and they could not do anything other than just go with what the people wanted. So they basically said that Mr. Cherry is no longer here. He had been turned over to the Kenyan government. The government that according to the government, the Ministry of Justice, the same government are accusing of mercenarism. So we said that, so okay, then today we will meet, and then whatever appropriate actions we need to take to ensure that Mr. Sharif is brought back to Liberia or is released to us as a lawyer. We'll be discussing today, and then we will announce those actions. But so far, the government today has announced or did announce that Mr. Sharif, so in other words, they wanted the prison remove it on the Sunday morning, where November 3rd, and what actually they did, after removing from there, they turning over to the Guinean government. The Guinean government, the military government that has accused him of recruiting people in Liberia to go and overthrow the Guinean government. So in other words, you're taking over those who basically is killers, who were accusing him of wanting to overthrow their government. So that's what happened today.
So just a follow up real quick though, because excuse my ignorance, but what is the process when it comes to these sorts of legal cases where you have a client that has a legal case in Liberia that is taken from Liberia to a different country? I mean, on what grounds were he even taken from Liberia to Guinea when there's an ongoing legal case with the Liberian government? How does that work? It doesn't make much sense to me.
No, there's nothing in this action that makes sense or that is legal. In the first place, the government of Liberia claimed that this man was in Liberia and he was involved in recruiting people with a view of going to Guinea and overthrowing the military government. That's what they initially said. So we have said, this is not, you have shown us nothing to prove that in fact this is what this man has been doing. By the end of the day, when he was put in jail by the court, because it's the court that normally sent him to jail that period, when he was already in court with this child, which child the government of Liberia had placed on him. We now say, okay, if you want us, we release the man to us until you get ready to go to court. They refuse. And they say how dangerous this man is, that's how the Guinean government will come and wage war on Liberia, all kinds of things. So at the end of the day, instead of going through the legal process, and everyone will find that indeed this was the case, then they put itself with order that the man be sent to Guinea. They didn't wait for that. They went one soon morning into the prison without any reference to the court, removed this man from the prison, and then according to them today now, that they had sent him over to the Guinean government. Now, who say you should tell him what the Guinean government? Nobody. So the actions get completely illegal, completely lawless, illegal. They just show how the government of Liberia had no respect for the law, none whatsoever. This is the government that came to power in Liberia under the mantra that they will be voted, there will be a group, a government that will be respecter of the laws of the Republic of Liberia. But today, with the announcement, it just show or demonstrate to us that it is a government of complete lawlessness. And Mr. Sharif life is in their hand, and they are responsible for his life. Whether they take it over to whatever book that's up, but under the law, they have Mr. Cherry, and Mr. Cherry is there. If you take it over to a person who is ready to hurt him, to kill him, and still it is the blood is on your hand as in the government of Nigeria.
Well, so, Mr. Sorry, you have a question? You mute us, Sarah. Oh, look like you got a question. Well, Sarah's the gap. Problem.
I do.
Yeah, I do.
I do have a question.
Justice Janet, is that correct? Justice Janet, right? Is that okay to reference you as Slush?
Yeah, go ahead. Look.
Okay. So my question, I heard you made mention of the fact that the current government is lawless. I think that actually sets the premise for my question to you. And my question is not going to be dwell on the recent incident of this individual, but I want to speak to, your thought process here a little bit. You supported the candidacy of President Joseph Numa Boyka as a legal practitioner, a well-inclined, educated man who believes in the law, after following the incident of the CPP where President Boyka, of course, showed no regards to legal documentation that brings institution or even a group of people together. He disregarded that, yet and still, as a legal practitioner, one who believes in the law and believes in documentation, you put your hands and the neck on the line to support such individual. What was going through your mind at the time, and what was the thought process that you were trying to give to Liberian, especially the young people, as a precedent for the next generation of people who will come after to make similar decision?
Well, none of us, as far as I am concerned, will ever believe that this man, Joseph Boyka, or a government formed by Joseph Boyka, will turn out to be this lawless. Will be a government that will seize power simply for nothing but to disobey and disregard the laws of the Republic of Nigeria. None of us ever had thought so, that was possible. But that's what we see today happening in Liberia. And he started it not only with this. I'm getting information. This is not even the first time for the Boyka government to be taking people and sending them to the military government so that they be killed. Because this is a government that is killing its own people there. A military junta. So all we can say is that we are just disappointed that we could have been part of the election of a government that has absolutely no regard for the rule of law. And therefore we are just disappointed.
So
Okay,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. So my question really wasn't answered. I know you state your disappointment, but you still did not answer the question as to what was the thought process. What was going through your mind when you made that decision to support the candidacy of President Joseph Numa Boyka, candidate Joseph Numa Boyka at the time, an individual with no proven track record of success in all of his capacity, whether as a vice president or in any other government office. Neither did he show you anything on the campaign trail that he would have done upon his ascendancy to the presidency. Yet and still, as a legal mind, an educated person, and a permanent member of society, you chose to support him. You put his hands up. You campaigned for him rigorously and got him elected. Today you are complaining. Give me the thought process, please. What was going through your mind at the time?
What was going through my mind was that we needed to have a person who, having promised us, having served in public space for more than 40 years, that person will be one, giving all that we were going through, especially during that period of President we administrator of term. We thought that he would be one that will not betray our trust if we repose that trust in him. Unfortunately, today it has turned out to be the exact opposite. So those were the thought processes. This man will be able to do better. And especially the way he kept talking about the rule of law. I will respect the law. I will ensure that our actions are guided by the laws of the country. That's what he promised throughout. So most of us really believe that at least he would try to follow the law. So for today, it's a big disappointment, a complete disappointment.
Okay, Timothy, do you mind?
Yes, go ahead, Sarah. Sarah, you still muted. Okay, what's the trying to get? Let me ask a question quick. Justice Janet, I know recently you issue a threat. You say you're going to carry on some protest or some action. Are you still going to follow through?
Well, with this declaration by the government that they have turned over Mr. Sherry to a group in Guinea, it is almost what you call dead on arrival, assuming that in fact this is exactly what they did. Because the news we are having is that when they went in there that early morning to remove the man, they brutalized him. Basically, paralyzing before taking him away, whether he was alive or not, we could go. Because from that day to now, none of us have had the opportunity to see him. So today, how do we even what's the basis for us to believe that in fact they turn him over to the Guinean government alive? We don't know. But we get taken for granted what they have said, that they turn him over to the Guinean government. Turning him over to the Guinean government is Imama almost just killing him right on the spot. This is not a government that believes in the rule of law. It definitely, what it has done, especially over the last 1 year or so, have been basically to deal with anyone that is suspected of anything and getting rid of them. They don't have any record of following anything in terms of law. No. So it's basically with the blood of Mr. Sherry is on Mr. Boakai said. So if the other one next to do, we have decided to meet tomorrow and decide what legal actions or remedies are available to us, and then we'll pursue them.
Wow.
People have demonstrated. People demonstrated the other day, and they went to their just remain quiet, everything's under control, we'll make sure comply with the law. But finally, they have told us now that they have turned him 10 Mr. Sheriff over to the military government. So the option that will be available to us, we will announce those after our meeting tomorrow.
Wow.
But definitely, we're not going to let this thing get laid down and nothing happens. That's not going to happen. So we will announce some action that we will be taking after our conversation tomorrow among ourselves as lawyers, along with the family of Mr. Terry.
Thank you. Anybody get a question for? We'll let the justice leave.
Benjamin.
Yeah. So, Mr. Justice, my question is: are there any paper trail at the cell from which he was in, where he was released? Is there any paper trail?
Say that again.
Is there any paper trail? Because if someone leaves a cell or if someone is booked, that person's name is in there. So when you are leaving out, you sign up. Is there anything of that sort that depot or station?
You may ever have any reason to believe that what
No.
Do you have
That's
any
what the
paper
paper trail
Do you have any paper trail?
for his release.
No, there's no paper trail. The only thing they presented yesterday in home was one document which they see is the agreement between them and Liberian government and the Guinean military that that says that if anybody does something wrong against the other country, that person will be. They will make requisition to bring the person to that government to be prosecuted or other thing. But that very people they presented, that people also see that any government acting will act consistent with its national laws. So even that people that are there does not support the action they see they are taking, which is turning over Mr. Sherry the government of Guinea. Because if you wanted to do it legally, there were procedures you should have followed under Liberian law. None of those ones happened. We have familiar with extradition. Whenever there's something that somebody is accused of doing and the person are brought to a country and you want to take them away, one of the first things the law says is if you send him to that country, the country accusing him or anything, you must be sure that when you send the person there to give them fair trial, due process of law. So the government actually said, just demonstrate that the only thing the government of Liberia was interested in was to kill this government. And that's exactly what they have now ended doing.
Hey, Sarah. Go ahead, Sarah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, Honorable, I want to say thank you for coming on. I just want to, you think, based on what you have explained, do you think there was any rough fellows between the government?
Oh.
Yeah, she caught up. Go ahead, Robert, go ahead. Yeah.
So essentially, can we mute ourselves, please? So essentially, what I'm hearing, and I really, Justice, can you please reassure us that you will appear on the show physically? Because I think we'll have a lot to discuss. So it would be nice if you can actually come on the show as we announce to the audience, so we can really give you at least 2 hours or hour to discuss these things. Can we mute ourselves?
Okay.
Like we did yesterday.
Okay.
That is over with. We can organize one of these sessions. I will definitely attend with all the relevant documents. I present some of the documents I was going to put yesterday.
Okay, so here's my question. So you're basically telling us, right? What I'm hearing is, and I stand corrected, you're basically saying that you have no physical evidence that, in fact, your client is either still in Liberia or, in fact, he's been turned over to the Guineans official. You have no evidence of that whatsoever.
Well, I have no reason to believe anything that the Liberian government tells me right now. All I know is that clearly they removed him from his prison cell Sunday morning, November 3rd, between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. I'm sure of that because we sent someone to the prison who went and checked, and then they told him the man was not there. They checked the prison cell, he wasn't there.
You haven't spoken to him since?
And since then, no, we have not been able to see him. We have not spoken to him.
Wow.
And none of his family members has indicated to me that they have seen him or they have spoken to him. No.
Wow.
So I just want to make some clarity. Today, I followed the Orchid FM broadcast, and they spoke of one of the reporters from the court spoke of the fact that the judge made mention of the fact that the government was wrong in their proceeding, and so they were fined $500 for each, I guess, agency or institution that may have been involved. Are you aware of this? And was this actually discussed with you as far as the $500 fine that was posed on the government? Is this something you're aware of?
I was in court, and the judge announced his own discontentment with the way the government, like where the Bonica government proceeded, and he considered it as a disrespect for the court, and he expressed that disappointment, and then fined most, if not each of the lawyers involved in the matter, $500 to be paid within a specific time period. If not, then they should be arrested and sent to prison until they pay that money. But I guess, I mean, just a matter of, have right contempt for the court that they acted the way they did. Extremely, in fact, they told Mr. Sherry and then over to the military government. He had no evidence. We're not there, and since it happened up to today, we have not seen it.
So you believe that? Do you think Sherry is still alive?
I don't really believe that.
Wow.
So, I mean, and Tamerlane, I will close on this note. I have no further question. I just want to say this to Justice Janet. There's a saying that goes this way. It says often, when the rain falls, it is not selective as to which roof it falls on. As of recent, the most recent incident that I remember, serving in my capacity, not as a legal practitioner, but just as a novice to the law, but as an advocate, a young man was killed to the electoral process, to electoral violence. That young man, up until today's date, Joshua, who was allegedly murdered based on electoral violence by members of the UP, nothing came out of it. Forceful voices like you and other permanent members of society said nothing about this thing. And today, the family of Joshua continued to mourn his death. Today, your client could probably be one of those victims today who may have to endure such thing. And here we are today. We are talking about the lawless state of the nation and the lawless idea of the government that you and other people brought into power. I pray that the family and friends, and that including you and other people, find reason to find peace of mind and hopefully get justice. But these are the things we talk about when we say, let us be critical and mindful in decision making when we elect people who will represent us as a nation, not based on individual interests. But thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
Honorable Janet, let me ask you one last question before you leave. Let me ask you, sir. My name is Henry Peabody. Honorable Janet, why you think? Why is it that the law in Liberia continue to lose weight? I mean, why is it that the law it just can be trusted? So who can the people of Liberia go to trust when it comes to law?
My brother, I think that question is one that all of us should ponder as Liberian citizens. Every time we try to say we want to bring about change, it ends up in a way that it becomes very disappointing for all of us. That has been the case with the last few administrations. We tried, we fought, we did everything that we could stimulate. By the end, it turned out to be the wrong decision.
Wow.
Well, I want to say thank you, Justice Janet, and we look forward to having you in person. We arrange it behind the scene. Maybe, hopefully, before the weekend or early next week, we'll have you in person to appear on the show. Thank you so much.
I'll be very, very happy, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Oh, can you imagine? They said that
man,
the justice is saying that 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, tell me now, how can you release a prisoner 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then you take him over to the military junta in Guinea, and now the justice say he believes the man is not even alive. And what surprises me is that we have human rights actors in our country that have been advocating for human rights for a long time. For example, my own senior big brother is the president's national security advisor, Councillor Kofi Woods. You want to tell me Kofi Woods then sat and learned that they are playing deaf ears to this thing that's happening? Blind eyes? My people, today is Sheriff. Lelofa said earlier about the late boy Joshua. Today is Sheriff. Tomorrow somebody will be taken from the person 2, 3 in the morning again. And we will hear about the person. And people are sitting down quietly saying nothing about it. And people, wow.
Can I come in?
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So yes, sir, come in. Sir, come in. I got it.
So all these different groups that were, protesting during the Weah regime. We have women groups, we have religious groups, we have a lot of different groups that were, protesting because of certain ills in society. So what happened to all of them? How all of a sudden a lot of them have disappeared from the scene? That is a question to ponder over, because at the end of the day, as the people say, what goes around comes around. You never know. Anytime or any day, this could be your family member, or this could be somebody, your loved one or something. So when these things happen, it's good for these religious. I mean, it's about time we show some sort of consistency. If you're going to protest or, speak of the ills during another regime, and then all of a sudden, because this regime you supported it, and then you shut up, you can't say anything, it's going to affect it's affecting our country greatly, and it's something that we're all supposed to speak about. There should be we should have consistency here. If I remember vividly how people were in the street when it comes to when people die. I remember all of that. Women got raped and all of that. What happened now? So I pity for the family of this young man. I just hope that want some sort of closure, or they something out of it. But at the end of the day, Liberians need to stand up.
What happened now is that these groups are politically motivated, and these protests and causes are selectively done, and that's what happens. They're not sustained. But it's scary to see such a former powerful guy, lawyer who understands the law, who at one point was tasked to interpret the law, and the fact that he's representing someone, and the government don't really care to even move cautiously, speaks to the kinds of issues we have in our country. And this guy could be dead for all we know. But I will hold my thoughts until the former justice comes on. We can discuss. But I want to pivot back to what Lofa was saying earlier, because I want the record to show that I think he's wrong. Lofa is completely wrong here. And I'm not even going to go into. I'm not even going to go into the Constitution and all of what he quoted. I want to ask him three things. Number one, Lofa, you said no laws have been broken, and you said something.
No. I asked of the law that is yet to be broken.
Okay, I will tell you one law that has been broken. One law that has been broken, and which we frown on this process, and is unconstitutional, is illegal, is that the requirement to start the process of removing the speaker says 49 persons. Have they acquired 49 persons? No. Secondly, one second. Secondly, okay, go ahead.
They have not. They told you. In the conference with the Supreme Court, they told you that they have not initiated the process of removal. So who are we to now make that decision? Because if you were to follow, right, the conference with the Supreme Court judge, they said they are yet to even start that process.
Okay, so they don't. But here's the thing: you don't disrupt the people's business, and you don't gather at the RLJ waiting until you.
So their gathering at the RLJ is unconstitutional as well.
It's a disruption of the people's business. Here's my point. Why have they not joined the main chambers? Why have they separated themselves?
Okay, so that could be the legitimate argument to have here. You could say that their refusal to appear, okay, to have sessions, it disrupt the process of governance. But again, you must understand they have reasons for which they have refused to submit to the leadership of Speaker Kofa. It is stated that they have no regards for his leadership. They have no confidence in him. And as such, they have recused themselves from the process of the governance of the state,
okay,
because of what they claim he may have been a part of. What I'm saying here, I hear people keep, go ahead.
So the law does not work that way. Yes, just plain period. The law does not work that way. The law does not allow you to say, you know what? I have no confidence in the leadership of the speaker, and so now I will recuse myself. I will obstruct the people's business until I regain confidence in the speaker. It doesn't work that way.
Based on which constitutional article?
49 of the Constitution of Liberia says every 6 years, the House of Representatives shall gather to elect
a leader
or presiding officer. One second. Okay. So who is the presiding officer by the law right now?
I asked you a question, Robert. Answer the question. You made a comment, right? You said their decision to just excuse themselves or recuse, however you want to term it as, from the process of governance. Okay, you said that is unconstitutional, and then you are now quoting Article 49. Article 49 only designates, it actually shows who is the speaker. I'm not disputing the fact that the speaker here, until he is relieved of his position, is Fanati Kofa. My question to you was and remains, where is the law broken? Where
the law is broken? The law is broken when I stated earlier, my brother. The law, the objective here is to remove Kofa. That's the objective. Okay, now the question here is, what are the legal process and procedures to remove Kofa? They have not gone in. First of all, they are not saying they're recusing themselves from governance. No, they are conducting business in the joint chambers. That's one. Two, if the objective here, whether they lost confidence in Kofa or whatever, if the objective is to remove Kofa, right? Why have they not followed the law in the process as required to remove Kofa? Which is, number one, you need 49 persons. And so if you are not have no trust in Benjamin leadership, and we have respect for processes and rules, and we have respect for the rule and law, we will understand that even though we have no confidence in his leadership, we still have work to do to get to the number as required by the rule of law to remove him, right? Until we have that number, we will continue to show up and do the people's business. That's the attitude and the actions of folks who have respect for the rule of law. So when you say there's no law been broken, yeah, there is law been broken, because they are getting paid by the people. They are getting paid by the way. These guys are getting paid for doing absolutely nothing because they have not shown up. There have been obstruction of the people's business as a result of what's happening here, right? And so there are plenty of laws being broken yet. You don't
no, Robert. I think you misunderstand what it is, because they have shown up for section, but it is not at the usual location.
But is that where they're supposed to show up? That's a broken law. They're supposed to be in the main chambers.
Robert, hold on one second now. I'll let you talk. Let me.
That's my time to talk now.
I'll give you your time back. All right.
That's my time. Here's the thing. I think you're wrong. I think you're being technical here. You're very, very wrong.
I'm not being technical. I'm just well, you can prove me wrong.
When the budget was presented in 2024, what was it presented? It was presented to the speaker in the main chambers. When the House of Representatives business is conducted, where is it conducted? Is it conducted in two separate chambers? It's conducted in one chamber. So the reason why they have gather in the joint chambers, right, is because they want to remove the speaker. They have no confidence in the speaker's leadership, but they don't have the numbers as the law requires them to remove the speaker. So what would you do in that case? You continue to respect the laws. You continue to do the people's business while you lobby for the 49. And after you've acquired the number, you give him due process. That's what the law says. But you wake up and say, you know what? I have no confidence in this man, and so I'm going to just obstruct the people's business. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm not going to show up under his leadership, even though the law recognizes that he is the Speaker of the House of Representatives. And I've broken the laws. It doesn't work that way.
So Robert, can you help me for the sake of education? For the sake of education, Ben, hold on one second. And you or Robert both can. Any one of us on the platform here can help me understand it. Again, I'm trying to use this as an opportunity to hopefully, keep myself informed of the legal aspect of the. Again, I'm not a legal practitioner. I come here as all right. I am a novice. But here's what I'm asking: can you state for me specifically what rule of the what article or what section of the rule book designate a specific area as that design area for session, or which article in the Constitution states that? Can you help me with that information so we can go through it together so I can?
Yes. I will answer you. And this person just put exactly what I wanted to say. And I would turn your question to a question to you. The law states when the speaker is present.
Or you're going to tell me what?
I'm answering your question. I'm answering your question. So the law states when the speaker is present, the deputy speaker becomes the deputy, and the speaker presides. Is that what is happening here now?
Benjamin.
So there's a law being broken here.
Ben, let me reiterate. We were speaking of where they are hosting session. And Robert, correct me if I'm wrong. You said
I just
the location. You said the location. You spoke nothing of the location of the session, the session that is being held. You just spoke.
Okay, let's
forget of something completely different. You spoke of.
Can I come in?
You spoke of. Yes, go ahead. Let me just spoke, Dr. Peabody. Let me close on this note. What you spoke of is who is serving in what capacity. I'm not talking about who's serving in what capacity. When I posed the question as to the question that I asked, Robert spoke of where folks are contributing or they're carrying on their day-to-day activity, where they're actually doing their duties as defined in the Constitution or the rule book. And I am asking you if you are aware of anywhere in the Constitution or the rule book where it states specifically where all legislators from Liberia are to meet for session. I would like to read that part to get myself abreast of what is going on. But until then, I remain static to what I said. But yeah, go ahead, Dr. Peabody or Ben. Anyone else?
Your question
Go ahead, Ben.
is in two parts. So one is you are talking.
Oh, Ben, Joe on screen.
One is you are talking about the area where they are, and all I'm saying. Let's look at the legality, because you were asking for if they were doing anything wrong. And the same law states that once the speaker is present, he presides. He is the one who leads. And in as much as we see the speaker goes to work every time and another group of people having another session, that is totally wrong. I don't know how that is easy to understand, Lova. Please, that is wrong.
Yeah, but yes, it does. I mean, I don't know. It said there's no law broken. If there's no law broken, why are they not together? Why are they separated? Why is it that the fact is you have not removed the speaker, you have not had the quorum, you don't have 49 to remove the speaker, and he's, as far as we're concerned, he still is the speaker until he's removed. Okay, but you have not removed the speaker. He's still the speaker, and you got meeting different places and say you are carrying out the affair of the country. I think it's wrong. The law said that in the house they should meet in the chamber under the gap of a speaker. You might have a speaker who will guide you guys through. You don't have anybody that's leading. You have a breakaway group. The deputy speaker has his side, and the legitimate group is with the speaker. You know, so what? There is a law that is broken. They are breaking the law because they are not a legitimate body to present a budget to. They are not. You know. So Chairman Ben will touch on that.
Let me before Ben come in. Let me say this, and this is no funny matter. I think this is a serious situation here, and just on purpose, I'm not going to quote any article of the Constitution here. I'm not. Because I think Lofa understands exactly what Lofa is doing.
No. Don't do that to the audience. Don't do that to the audience.
No, I won't. No, I won't quote. I will not quote. I will not quote any part of the Constitution.
Okay, can you state?
I will not quote. 1 second. Here's what I will state. 1 second. Here's what I will state. I'm not going to quote any part of the Constitution because I think we've exhausted the Constitution on this matter. This is not the first time we've spoken about this, and we have indicated section in the Constitution that's been violated. But Lofa, if you think there's no laws been violated yet, I think that's applies some common sense here. Then, since we're not legal experts yet, we're not constitutional experts. I'm not a constitutional expert yet, right? But if you think there's no laws been broken yet, then why is the president submitting the budget to the deputy chief clerk when it's addressed to the presiding officer? And here's the question I want you to answer
that. Let me not.
No, answer this too. Yeah, answer this too.
Okay.
Answer this too. By the law, currently, who is the presiding officer of the House of Representatives?
Okay, so you answer your own question, and again, here's what happened. Right, the president did not, in any way, shape, or form, gave the budget to T5. He actually presented the budget to the presiding officer.
Who is the presiding officer by law?
Okay, who actually took the document? Who was the document handed to? The document was handed to who is the chief clerk?
The chief clerk is not the presiding officer by law. Who is the presiding officer by law?
Oh, come on, Robert. You want me to
no,
answer
I'm just
this, right?
saying chief clerk. Okay, the law does not recognize the chief clerk.
Robert, hold on. Let me help you understand something here.
No, don't help me understand.
Robert, hold on. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead, my brother.
This document, okay, as it clearly states in the headline, to the presiding officer, okay? Now, it was delivered to the clerk, and the clerk had to use his or her rational mind to understand who it was addressed to using what is stated. He or she did not do what was expected. So how is it that the president, you guys are putting us in a position where we have to defend President Boycott when there is no need to? But it is only simple. It's just as simple as being able to rationalize. It was addressed to the presiding. If you read who is the presiding, and it was handed to an individual who made the rational decision to go about and deliver it to the majority bloc, how is that the president making this documentation available to the T5 or the majority bloc? No, it was addressed to the presiding. It shouldn't have to be stated as, okay, Mr. Speaker, when it is, like you rightfully said, when you said that who is referenced as the presiding should be the speaker. But when the president, in his wisdom, like you all reference him as being very much full of wisdom, decides not to be a part of their conflict because they're all thieves and say, I'm just going to just reference presiding, whoever they see as the presiding officer, they can go. Because again, remember, these are three independent branches. I'm not going to put myself in the middle of it because I don't want to be found legally tied to any of the proceedings. So I'm going to address this communication to the presiding.
Okay.
How is
well,
let Ben come. How is that the president violating law?
But Lofa, what you're not recognizing is one, the procedure on presenting the budget is very simple. The procedure is this. The procedure is the finance ministry presents the budget to the presiding officer. who by law and legal constitutional is the speaker. If
But
the speaker is not available, the budget presented to the deputy speaker. They can send the budget over to the chief clerk for primary.
The chief of clerk is actually presented. Actually, it is addressed to the presiding. It is addressed.
But the chief of clerk is not a presiding officer.
Please, can I please come in? Because
Ben, you can come in.
I'm listening to Lofa and I'm just shaking my head laughing because let me say this, and more than likely, I think the mistake we often make in Liberia is we personalize our issues, right? We say because it's this person, and maybe because it's this person, and maybe there's somebody feedback. What's going on?
It's Sarah.
Peabody like my name. He said my name.
We got our own word. I'm getting the feedback.
Thank you. You said my name in a heartbeat. I love her.
So let me say this. First thing first.
Though you got a lot of mic. Your mic is loud.
It was a feedback. It wasn't necessarily his mic. I think it was what her name, Sarah. First thing first, and first of all, thank you guys. It's good to be on. It's good to see Ben also. I just want to say this. It's almost cynical. And if this was not serious and bordering on that we didn't have a constitutional crisis, it would be hilarious. It would be a huge comedy show. But you know what? Liberia is a joke. And let me say that. Liberia is a joke. Clearly. Where in the world have we seen? This is the first time I think a president has even written the Speaker of the House or another branch. And first of all, he's acting like there is not a speaker. That's the first thing. This was the same president who, about 2 weeks ago, when he wrote the letter to ask for an extension, he addressed it. He addressed it to the speaker. He said, Mr. Speaker, J. Fonati Kofa, he addressed it to him. 2 weeks later, he instructed his acting chief of staff because he didn't want to write the chief clerk. Because you know why he didn't want to write the chief clerk? Because he is the head of another branch of government. When he's writing, he has to write the head of the other branch of government. So he instructed his chief of staff to write the chief clerk, acknowledging that there is a crisis. When the president decided, and first of all, maybe just some education to Lofa, whenever budgets are being presented, this is how it works. The president writes the Speaker of the House, whoever that may be. This time it happens to be J. Fonati Kofa. And I know a lot of people, because maybe they don't like Kofa, but he's the Speaker. It's just like how there was during the time when Taylor was president. People didn't like Taylor, but it didn't mean Taylor was not president of Liberia. If you wrote the president of Liberia, you will say Charles Ganke Taylor. You will say George Manuel Weah. When you write and say the presiding officer of the House of Representatives, and then we want to play schematics here.
Nobody plays schematics. It's just the truth of the matter.
Don't interrupt me. Let me finish, Lofa. Because the truth of the matter here is we want to be selective in our advocacy for the rule of law. We want to be the people who get up and we go and march for different things. But when it comes to another issue, we want to say no. We want to say no. That one it has to do about Kofa. And Kofa, a criminal, he was indicted in America. Guess what? He is your speaker until he is constitutionally and legally removed. And Joe Boyka knows that. It's like me writing the president of Liberia, and I read a letter and I say, the commander-in-chief, executive mansion, and just send it to the mansion and give it to the secretary. The commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia is the president of Liberia. How hard is that for people to understand? I mean, there's notion that there's this thing about them sitting in the joint chambers. I hear Lofa saying there's no constitutional or no law say where they can be. Yeah. Yes. The law says that there should be session in the capital city, in Monrovia. That's what the law says. But the same law also says that for it to be a session, it has to be presided over by the presiding officer, who happens to be the Speaker of the House.
So not any kind of session that happens in Monrovia.
But the thing also though is this. And you know why I say, you know why I'm excited about this? Because let me tell you, and I will remind people, because I know Joseph Boyka will break the Constitution. I know the government will break the law again. And it will affect on the people today who clapping. That's when, because moving forward after the issue, I really wish Joseph Boyka, if Leo Man said Joseph Boyka, he will not even value the Constitution. Because you know that Lofa didn't quit to go to DC to go protest. They don't
protest,
quit.
they be crying.
So thank you in this room for me tonight.
And you know, Lofa what does he call them? Legislators, lawbreakers.
Yeah.
Right?
For nothing.
I am encouraging all elected officials in our country to begin to break the law. We have lost the moral record. I'm serious.
You're sitting on a public platform and you're encouraging lawbreakers.
Let me say, me, you know me. I don't eat my crab with shame. This is not about Kofa. The good news, though, is Kofa will not resign. He is clear about that. They can get the 79 members tomorrow. You know what will happen? They will have to go through the due process. They can get a 12 members tomorrow. Kofa will be given the right as a Liberian to face his accusers. He will defend himself. They have accused him of grave things. He has to clear his name. He will face them. And guess what also will happen, guys? They will have to vote. There will be an open vote. They will ask who all wants the speaker to be removed. They will put a hand up with a roll call. Every single one of them will face Fonati Kofa. The reason they want this thing to be the easy way out is because they are cowards. It's because they are cowards. They don't want to face the man. Simple. You got 79 votes or you get 49 votes, whatever vote you get. Cool. The man has said, I will recuse myself. So you hear Lofa and trying to skirt this thing around. You know, the person I was looking at, I thought he was coming to be on the show, our Toga. You know that he don't want to waiting for because he don't want to argue with him in chat room. I won't argue with him on the record. For some reason, say he been on the bandwagon, he been running away from the show. I've been waiting for Toga to come. And for some reason, maybe he now baptized Lofa. And Lofa there talking bunch of things about, the people ain't get breaking the law to me. You got a speaker going to the Capitol building every day. You got Thomas Fala sitting down in the joint chamber saying he's the speaker. I mean, he's the acting speaker. Where in the world does that happen? Only in a country called Liberia, where we want to be selective about things that we want to talk about. And then when something happens tomorrow, we'll all be making us saying, somebody broke the law. I am encouraging all the lawmakers. In fact, you don't even need a pass. In fact, when you pass the budget, you're spending the way you want to spend it. You don't present no budget performance report. You're spending. When the Liberian people get ready, they will demand the accountability they need. Lofa then will get in the street. Lofa then will go to Washington, D.C. And I'm calling on the United States government to no longer put any of our officials on sanction. We must handle our situation the way we want to handle our situation. Everything happening, we will run to America, put sanction on people. So I will stop for now. But it's just funny because I'm enjoying my brother Lofa trying to skirt and laugh around, and the people in the chamber, the people in Montreal, there's no law that say they can't hold session. Yes, it is illegal because there is a speaker. It is illegal because there is a speaker, Lofa.
Ben, and I understand the sentiment here, right? And I hold nobody, liable for their decision at time. This is why I love the closing argument, because you're allowed to be as sentimental as you want to be, and you can, sway your way to however or whichever side you want to. But the simple question here, or the issue being discussed here, we have made it clear, time without number, whether in the chat room or on here, that this entire process is political. Neither side is in the interest of the masses, and you and other people agree.
It's relative, man. Why you call interest of the masses?
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, Ben.
Okay, Lofa, can you answer me?
I'm talking about me. Okay, Ben.
I agree. What is the interest of the masses?
Ben, you're not.
Please include it in your conversation.
Ben,
include it, please.
Ben, okay.
What is the interest of the masses?
Ben, the interest, our interest, we the masses, our interest, okay, is. That's your problem. You see, when we have this conversation in the back, you will not leave it there. But let me say this, Ben. No, on a very serious note, I think what we are doing here is we are playing with the minds of the people, and we think that it is some kind of political game. You understand, and the reason why the likes of DJ Blue and other people are gradually stepping off the wagon is because they themselves don't even believe in why they were standing alongside Fanatif Kofa. Okay, and it's simple. The reason is they understand that, look, they are not in the interest of the masses. The people want the job done. Neither side is acting in their best interest. So you want me to sit here and attempt to defend an individual who been in government for the longest and have been part, as a matter of fact, he's a perpetrator of all of the corrupt practices.
Wait.
You're not going to allow me. You guys not going to allow me.
Nobody said you should defend anybody.
Then you allow me. Hold on 1 second, Ben. So we got both Bens on here tonight. But here's what it boils down to, right? The reality is this: we cannot just on the surface claim that the law is broken when we cannot specifically state what or which section of the law these individuals are breaking in order for us to advocate. When I advocate, again, the issue here, when I advocate against domestic violence, it is obvious. When we go out there to advocate against the abuse of human rights, it is out there. In this case, these guys are politically struggling for power. And I'm not going to sit out here and make it seem like at the end of the day, I benefit. Fanatif Kofa can be reinstated, and I will have nothing to benefit because he will continue the same stealing as they have started previously. Even if Fanatic Kofa is removed and Thief 5 is instated, the continuation of thievery is right there. So I at the end of the day, I remain the victim here. Why should I put my neck on the line?
Maybe you should try not to justify anything.
Lofa, here's one thing that I want to say to you, Lofa. I think you should wait for the next show when we're talking about corruption. Because as it stands right now, we're not discussing who is
at what point in time, do you know the reason, Ben? Ben, do you know the reason for which they are asking his resignation?
What the reason they're asking for his resignation?
They simply said he was found to be corrupt.
I'm about leave people, man.
That's an allegation.
Okay, but then get him due process. Get him due process.
What are you talking about here?
I'll mute myself and let you land, Ben.
All right. So the first thing here we are talking about, we're not talking about who is corrupt than the other now. We're talking about our illegitimate process.
Thank you.
The last time I reminded you, I said even criminals who are in prison,
when two
criminals strike, they still give them due process.
Due process. Thank you, Ben. Thank you.
Go ahead.
So
Thank you, Ben. They won't make you choke.
So I wanted Lofa to come back because I think this is a joke and it's a sad joke because I don't find it to be funny, to be honest with you. I don't find it to be funny because for Lofa to sit here and act as though he doesn't understand that the glaring laws that have been broken and disrespected here.
I told you didn't. What Robert? I told you had no intention of having to discuss specifically what is still in the law.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Yeah, but wait a minute. But yeah, but I'm not. But here's what I'm not gonna let you get away with this.
Okay, so now you want to discuss.
I'm not gonna let you get away with this level of deception, right? Because I think you are intentionally being deceptive.
No, it's not a matter of being deceptive.
And in addition to that, when you talk about sentiments, I'm not talking based off of sentiments. I think you are sentiments and facts are two different things. I think you are being sentimental when you keep talking about how corrupt Fanatic Kofa is and disregarding the illegal attempt to remove him. We can discuss Fanatic Kofa's performance. We can discuss his record of corruption and still understand that what is happening here to remove him is unconstitutional. Yes. So if you are against corruption, one second, let me land, please. If you are against corruption, then you should be against a process that breeds corruption. But here is what Article 49 of the Constitution says, which is why I ask you, who is the presiding officer? Right? The House of Representatives shall elect once every 6 years a speaker who shall be the presiding officer of that body, a deputy speaker, and such other officers as shall ensure the proper functioning of the House. The speaker, the deputy speaker, and other officers shall be elected or so elected may be removed from office for cause by resolution of a 2/3 majority of members of the House of Representatives. So 2/3 requires 49. So when you talk about what laws have been broken, this is what we're talking about.
But what do you know?
Let me land, please. The speaker is the presiding officer.
Robert, you read an article that I stated at the genesis of my statement. I referenced Article 49, and I even handed that to you. I delivered it to you so that you can have a better understanding.
But how can you deliver it to me and still not understand laws that have been broken, Lofa?
But Robert, though, that statement right there, all right, has the speaker been removed? Has he been removed? The process of removal, okay? They told you. I made reference of their conference. I made reference of their conference with the Supreme Court and the judge, and I think Vonnie Sherman, who is probably one of Ben Sanvi's mentors, political mentors, represented the majority bloc, and he said the process of removal is yet to get started. So I asked the question again: where is the broken law? I'm yet to find it.
You keep asking questions that we keep answering.
You're not answering. You have not even attempted to.
What do you mean by have not attempted to? So
because
let's put it this way:
you're struggling.
If you have a cause, as per what the article said, it must be removed with a cause. But with that cause, requires due process. The presiding officer, so you can have 10,000 causes, you can have 10,000 press conference.
Exactly.
That doesn't count.
Can I ask Lofa a question? Why are the majority not in the main chambers? Let's start with that.
But that's what I asked earlier.
No, wait. Because I want to ask Lofa. He talked about Vonnie Sherman. By the way,
I made reference.
But Lofa, wait. Let me ask my question. Why? I want you to be around the bush.
I'm not.
Why are they not in the chambers? Why?
They told you purposely that they have no confidence.
Very good point. Stop right there. Okay. Stop right there, please.
So now you're going to regulate how I respond.
No. Stop.
Let me elaborate. Let me elaborate.
Ask you. No, because I know what you.
Let me elaborate. Okay.
Go ahead. You said they said he got no confidence, right? Perfect.
Right. In his leadership.
It is well within the right, to say they don't have no confidence. It is within the right.
Thank you.
But
thank you.
Use a practical example here. Practical. You, Lofa, you look at me, you say, Ben, I ain't got no confidence in you.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
No confidence in you, Ben.
Mhm.
Tomorrow, you get up. Does it give you, because you don't have no confidence, you say, Ben, I ain't got no confidence in you, so I can sit on the same platform with you. That is your right. But guess
Right.
what you don't have a right to do tomorrow? You don't have a right to go on Facebook tomorrow and start a show called The Closing Argument when it's not yours. When
Right.
you don't own the trademark. When you don't, you know what I'm saying? You can
Right.
do it on the show though.
Right.
What the reason I bring that up is because having a no confidence, it is the right. But it does not also give it where the right stop. Here, right also begin there. When you say you don't have when you say you don't have confidence in the speaker, it don't mean that the speaker is no longer speaker. It don't mean that the speaker is still not the presiding officer. So you don't have a right to determine where you sit for session, because you know what also, Lofa?
Mhm.
The framers of the Constitution envisage that this may happen one day.
Okay.
The framers of the Constitution said that just in case
Mhm.
a majority decide not to show up, and I'm not quoting verbatim,
Okay.
the minority under the gavel of the speaker, the presiding officer,
Mhm.
shall compel the majority to come to work.
Agree. And I think all of these were actually stated. Again, I will reference my previous statement because I made reference to all of those specific articles initially. But here's where, again, I posed the question and you're not responding. I think
Answer-
your
ask the
concern,
question. I want
Ben,
to hear the question
Ben,
you ask.
Ben, your concern here is that both blocks, okay, the minority and the majority blocks are not under the same, they are not in the same chamber.
Yes.
That is what you're much more concerned about.
Mhm.
Constitutionally,
Mhm.
what makes that some form of illegal?
Thank you. Good. Because guess what? We have a bicameral legislature. We have a House of Senate. We have a House of Representative. We don't have a House of Representative majority and a House of Representative minority. We don't have that.
Okay.
The Constitution is very clear.
You are speaking of Ben. You see, this is where you guys continue to just fumble with this entire process.
Ask your question. I just answer
Ben,
you.
Ben, what you're telling me is the obvious. We understand that we do have the Senate and the representatives.
Then why you ask a question then?
So why
Why I asked the question? I said,
you said what?
the location. You speaking of, we're talking about the physical
But
location. You're
people
talking about
said
you- you-
exactly
you-
why they
you-
should not
you-
be in joint chamber. They should be in the
You supposed to
it does not say that they are confined to that specific
What are
location.
you
But
talking
if they
about?
decide, Ben, give me 1 second.
You know,
Where does it say that they are confined to that specific location?
No, we are not talking about confinement.
Ben,
That's
come
what
on,
we're
man.
talking about. Let's break it down.
Okay,
Let
so
me-
if
let
a
me-
group,
let me
okay,
attempt
if the
to help you
majority
again,
group,
Lofa.
Ben, if the majority group decides to go and host session, all right. If for Natif Kofa decide to go and join them and host session at that particular location, will you say it is not at the proper location because it was not held where they normally host sessions?
Lofa,
Will you say that?
Lofa Julius.
I'm listening to you.
Let me say this again to you. Let me attempt to help you again. The Speaker of the House is the presiding officer.
Okay.
The Speaker of the House is alive. He is well. He walking. He goes to work every single day on Thursday, Tuesdays and Thursdays, which is session day.
Okay.
He goes into the chamber.
Okay.
You are saying, again, the framers of the Constitution knew. You are saying the Speaker should leave the chambers of the House of Representatives and go into the joint chambers, which is supposed to house a joint session of the Senate and the House. You are saying he should go there because the majority there Is that what you are saying here?
No, I never. No, I asked, what if? Again,
Oh, why
okay,
is that
I'm
what if?
asking you. I'm asking you
The
here.
law does not
Because
provide
what
what
you're trying to,
if,
what
Lofa.
you're insinuating.
But why are you
you're
saying
insinuating
what if,
this.
Lofa?
Ben,
What
at
is
the end of the
what
day,
if? The law
at
is
the
the
end of
law.
the day,
It guides
you
our
are,
actions.
Ben,
It should
you
guide
guys
the
have
House of
accepted.
Legislature.
You have,
The
you
House
have
of
accepted.
Why
You
is
have
there a
accepted.
what if?
You have accepted the reality on ground that this entire process, until we have a proven point that there is a law that is broken,
What
I
are
am
you
here
what
to
are
be
you talking
convinced.
about,
You
Lofa?
haven't done
Lofa, what are you talking about?
because
Let's move on
maybe
to the
you
next
just,
topic,
I
please.
mean, you
Yeah,
don't.
maybe let's move on to the
Yeah,
next
let's move on to the
Let's
next topic.
move on to the next topic. Let's do
This
that.
is elementary.
Let's do that.
I'm trying to understand.
You know,
You keep saying until you are proving there is a law that is broken. The law says for you to have session, you must be presided over by a presiding officer. Your presiding officer is in the country. He's in the bailiwick of the republic. The only time the deputy speaker can preside over the House of Representatives is if the speaker is not in the country. If he is not available, he is available. What is hard to understand that what they are doing is illegal.
Yeah, but I even asked the man a question. I think either he's willfully, been ignorant to the issue yet, or I don't understand what it is. But I asked the man the first
So
question.
Robert,
I asked
if
you
anybody, to be
look,
honest
one
with you,
second.
Robert, so if anybody is being ignorant here,
where's
I
the
would
record?
think that, and I don't want to be, and not to be disrespectful or condescending, it would be you who again attempted to make the case that you understood what you attempted to speak to, but again,
You just said attempted 2 times. It doesn't
yeah,
even
you
make sense.
attempt, yeah, but
So
you
allow
fell
me
flat on
then.
your face.
Allow
But
me.
you fell flat on your face, Robert. It is not about
Lofa,
again. I will tell you this, Robert. I will tell you this, right? You can't sit here and speak on the issue of
So Lofa,
one
you saying
attempting
that
to be ignorant.
so you say
wait, Ben, wait. He said
you say
attempted.
what they're doing is right. It's
Wait,
legal.
Ben, 1 second.
Know what you say?
1 second. Yeah, that's the fun part, right?
Ben, all along,
Let me
Ben,
speak.
all
Ben,
along, whether behind
what?
closed door, or here, I have stated time without number that I agree not with either side because I don't believe in anything they're doing. But Ben, hold on one second. Let me help Robert to understand something. Ben, let me help Robert to understand something, right? Ben, let me help Robert to understand something. When you come out here and attempt to invoke the Constitution in what you speak to, all right, then you should be able to back it based on your understanding, not even with the legal, not with the legal background, but with the comprehensive knowledge of what you're reading. With the comprehensive knowledge of what you read, you should be able to support what you speak to. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
so let's try that, Robert. I will give you one more chance. Let's try that one more time.
No, don't give me no chance. I think
no. Let me give you that opportunity. Go ahead. Try one more time. Try it again. Try again.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, give me 1 second. I think
no, I'll give you 2 minutes. I'll give you 2 minutes.
Sir, can I speak? You don't give me no time. Let me speak.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you got 2 minutes.
Lofa, I think what you've done today, right? You've outrightly embarrassed yourself.
Okay, I agree.
1 second.
Prove
You've
embarrassment.
Hey, my brother, can I speak? You keep talking on me. How can let the audience judge who have displayed a level of ignorance here, right? Because again, I kept giving you the opportunity to clarify, right? You have sat on this platform, and because of your personal sentiments against Fanatic Kofi, and this is not the first time we've had this conversation. I have repeatedly told you the fact that you think Fanatic Kofi has been involved in corruption does not negate the fact that this process is unconstitutional. People who support this process don't necessarily support Fanatic Kofi's leadership or his performance. You have got to be able to distinguish the two. When you distinguish that this issue, let me learn, please. When you distinguish that this issue,
who stopped you from learning? You keep
when you distinguish that this issue have got nothing, absolutely nothing, to do with Fanatic Kofi's record, whether he was a felon, whether he was involved in corruption, the process in which he got elected, none of this have anything to do with the unconstitutional attempt to remove him. That people like myself who may not necessarily agree with his performance do not agree with the unconstitutional attempt to remove him. Now, when we talk about unconstitutional, how else can one be explicit when you ask, quote a part of the Constitution that makes this attempt illegal. We quoted 49, Article 49 of the Constitution. The presiding officer is who? Fanati Kofa, right? That's who the presiding officer is. How many persons you need to remove the speaker? 49 persons, right? After you've acquired 49 persons, where do you go to start the process? The main chambers. So what else can anyone let me finish. What else can anyone explain to you?
Had 2 minutes.
You understand that this process is illegal. But you sit on this platform and say, I have attempted.
Robert,
I have attempted. You have attempted, and you have exposed your ignorance tonight. And you should be embarrassed.
All right, I accept it. I accept the ignorance, but again, I will reference you to what I stated earlier. Hopefully, you can use this opportunity to learn something tonight.
I don't need to learn anything.
Come on, Robert. You beg to be listened to. You were talking, you begged to be listened to. Let me give you an opportunity to hopefully learn something tonight. And next time, you can be able to defend your position, okay, in a much more adequate way. But let me tell you something. You spoke of what those articles are referencing is the removal, okay? Has he been removed from his position? The process is in place. And that is why it was interpreted.
What process is in place?
Hey, Ben, you cannot defend this young man who lacks the ability to actually speak to the issue.
What process is in place?
When he wants to invoke the Constitution as a defense mechanism, when he lacks the ability to actually utilize it.
What are you talking about?
Robert, let me help you understand something. Robert, use this as an opportunity to learn something, bro. Robert, let me help you understand something. Robert,
you don't even understand what we're talking about.
Bro, calm down.
I'm good. I'm embarrassed by your ignorance.
Robert, take a chill pill, okay? Listen for a second. You said that this process here, the speaker is yet to be removed, and they're in the process of doing that. When the conference, what was the hearing, or what was the result from the conference with the
great question.
Wait, please.
Ben, Robert, I will not ask you that question because I don't want you to choke me.
Robert, I don't want
you to go back to Article 49.
We'll answer the question for the conference.
Robert, calm down. Dude,
Lofa, you asked a very important question.
Dude, take a chill pill now. Grab a glass of water and chill.
If anyone chill pill, you.
Ben, let me ask you a question, right? I will ask you this question.
Look up.
Ben.
Do you have that record?
Yeah, I have it. Ben Sabi, to be honest with you, I want you to speak to that particular, again.
To what? To the conference?
Address it. Go ahead.
To the conference? To the conference?
Yes. What was the result from the conference? Do you have the memo that was raised?
First thing first, there was not a ruling from the Supreme Court. None whatsoever. That's another misinformation that the other guys are spewing out there. There was no ruling. The justice in chamber declined to opine on this issue.
Okay.
Because when they appeared in conference, he questioned them.
They're doing different things.
He asked them, what is the issue?
Okay.
The Kofasa said they are sitting in the joint chamber saying they carry on the Labyrinthpo business. They just said, Adam, what are you doing in the joint chamber? Why are you not in your chambers?
Okay.
Oh, we ain't got confidence in the speaker. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, good. You don't have confidence in him. Have you guys given him due process? They said, no, Mr. Justice. We have not even started that process. So the justice said, but listen, then there's no reason why you should be in front of me. Guess what? Y'all go back and go to your chambers. Your vote of no confidence you got. Y'all go and give the man due process.
So Ben, with the Supreme Court decline.
Yes.
So with the Supreme Court decline to what I was saying.
Rate.
I'm sorry?
Okay, so let me tell you two things. declining
Man, we're
and
not going to
denying.
to educate Lofa.
Wait, 1 second, guys.
We need to educate Lofa in the back.
Declining. Please, it's important. The reason it's important because there's a lot of people out there that this is some different information.
And here's my thing, right? Here's my thing.
Let me land on this, Lofa. I beg you.
Okay.
Declining
to
opine.
Okay.
It's not the same. Wait. Declining to opine is not the same as denying it. There are two things.
But Ben, here's what, again, I'm trying to help you to bring you to this point where the Supreme Court will in no way, shape, or form refuse to intervene in a case that they have noticed some break of the law. Constitutional, if it is not constitutional.
But the Supreme Court don't go look for case, Lofa. Look for case.
No, they don't. And that's why the case was taken to them.
No, Lofa, you
what are you talking about?
Lofa, you are mixing it up. You are mixing it up.
So, Lofa, when these people were outside, all right, they said they were trying to remove Flanty. So Flanty went running to the Supreme Court.
To the Supreme Court.
Those people out there said they want to move me. So when they got in front of
what is the process? When Flanty ran to the Supreme Court, when Flanty ran to the Supreme Court, what was that process? What is that process considered? When Flanty ran to the Supreme Court, what is that process considered?
What do you mean? What is it considered?
Okay, Ben, you just said the Supreme Court doesn't go out there to look for cases, and I'm telling you,
they don't.
Okay, yes, and I agree with you. I agree with you on that part. But I'm telling you here. Again, it was taken to them. What are you talking about?
Lofa, listen now. Lofa. So when Flanty went there, they called those guys for the conference. When they got there, they changed their story.
So the justice said. They said we can be. But my man. So Lofa, you can't.
All this time.
Let me say this again. Let me see. I want to use another analogy.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. So you guys just wasted my time on this issue here when I stated earlier that the side that actually is being accused of breaking the law clearly stated that they have done nothing as such to remove the speaker. They are in the process of going through or providing due process. That's what they said.
How are they going to provide a due process?
Okay, well that is the point. That's where you at.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ben, can I move? Listen, can I move something, Ben? 1 second, play. Allow me 30 seconds. I have come to the point where I have to protect Lofa. 1 second, Ben. I have to protect Lofa. We can no longer allow this public embarrassment. Let's table this conversation for the back. Yeah, I gotta protect Lofa.
That's true.
I gotta protect Lofa. Yeah, we can't do this on live right now. We have to move in the back.
I'm also embarrassed.
I agree with Robert.
Let me just end on this note.
I totally agree with Robert.
No, I like to end on this note, right? I like to end on this note.
Okay, I think they meant to move me instead of Robert. Okay, they bring it back.
I like to end on this note, right? What happened, whether we like it or not, this entire process is wrong. Wrong is wrong. Look, can you imagine in this country? Let me give an example. The Democrats in this country impeached Donald Trump, I think 2 or 3 times. Right?
Yeah.
I think it was 2 or 3 times, right?
They could not get a number.
I know it was more than 1 time. He got impeached twice. Right?
Okay.
Do you know how much the Democrats wanted Donald Trump to be removed from office? They felt Donald Trump was a threat to democracy. They were so behind it until they impeached Donald Trump when he had weeks left. Weeks after January 6th, they did an impeachment, still saying they want to remove him. Why am I bringing this up, Ben? Imagine they say, after Donald Trump got impeached, then the Speaker of the House, right, who at that time was, what her name? Nancy Pelosi, right? I think that Nancy Pelosi was the speaker, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine after Nancy Pelosi control House, impeach Donald Trump? The law says for the president to be removed from office, he has to be convicted by the Senate. He has to go through a trial in the Senate, presided over by the Chief Justice, right? They went to the Senate. The Senate did not convict Donald Trump because the Democrats did not have the numbers to convict him, right? Imagine after the Senate said, we're not convicting Donald Trump. Imagine Nancy Pelosi saying, well, Donald Trump is no longer president because we impeach him. Because he the one orchestrated January 6th. So he's no longer president. You know who president of America? We're gonna be naming President-elect Joe Biden as the president. It don't work that way. You have to follow the law. You know the challenge that we are having here, the challenge we are having here as a nation, is that this is the first time somebody is demanding that we do it the right way. Because the way we are used to it, by now, that thing's supposed to be done. For the 2 people say I didn't let you, for the 9 people saying, my man Jerry resign, go say that. No. He is just saying, I'm not going to do that. And if I choose to do that, it will be a personal decision that I will make. So all I'm saying, guys, is like we said, this is not about Kofa. I know almost 90% of the people who are defending this thing, who are talking about this thing, they don't even like Fonanti Kofa. They are talking about the fact that we got to do things according to the law. Because you know what? When the law breaks down, when people start flagrantly violating the law, that's where you lead. That's where lawlessness come in. Imagine tomorrow a CDC hosts a rally and say, we don't want Joseph Boakai to be president. We're declaring George Weah as president of Liberia. And guess what? The seditions overrun the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And they go and they set George Weah in the Foreign Affairs Ministry and say, you the president of Liberia. Joseph Boakai sitting now in the executive mansion. But we said because seditions lost confidence in Joseph Boakai, I mean he's not president of the country. You can't do that. Give the man his day in court. Give him his due process. You get your 49. Stand up. You vote against him. He will exit the speakership. How hard is that? How hard is that?
You know, like you said, it's not difficult.
It's as soft as ice cream, right?
It's not difficult, but again, we are not used to following.
We're not used to it at all.
Following the process, we're not used to. And this is not limited. This is not limited to the House of Representatives. You know, this is the norm in our society.
Let leave it, yeah.
And we handle things the way. Let's talk.
Let leave it.
We don't want to subject people to the legal process. We don't want to hurt people's feelings. We don't want to break relationships. We don't want to do things the right way. And you said something very profound, Ben. A lot of people who are supporting the law don't necessarily support Fonanti Kofa. I'm one of those person.
I do not support.
I don't necessarily like Fonanti Kofa. And that it's not that I hit the guy, right? But again, we expected a divided government, in a very good way for our democracy, right? I think, when you look at this politically, I don't see how this benefit Joseph Boakai, because I think he had a speaker that have worked with him, right? And so, but we have got to separate the politics from, or our own personal feelings from the process, and that's what people are talking about, the process. Now, once they have gone through the process to remove him, and they have removed him, then we can start talking about the politics, right? But for all of us, this is the reason why when I read the what's the lady name who wrote the statement today that she was going to be neutral?
Oh, Mama Briggs.
Mama Briggs.
Mama Briggs.
And my thing was, okay, she expressed the fact that Fonanti Kofa does not have the leadership to unite the body, and she expressed all of these things. but she decided to stay away. She said, "Well, I'm going to remain neutral." Right? I mean, in moments like this, it's not time for neutrality. You've got to pick a side. You got to pick a side.
No, like Lofa saying, all of them are rogue, so let's just get rid of all of them. Listen, we got to be realistic. You're not getting rid of all of them. So why are you even saying that?
Thank you. And so this is what we found ourselves. People have got to, and again, I want to send a special shout out to my friend Todd Wombe. And like I said, like I told him today, I respect him. And I've already told my friend, and I've expressed my disappointment in the fact that he switched. I know he gave me his reason, but it's one that I don't think makes sense, right? DJ Blue.
Oh, Blue.
Blue is one that I don't think makes sense. But this thing is deeper than we know. But again, I want to commend Fanatic Kofa for standing up for the law. The law is the law, and we've got to look. I don't have to like Lofa. I don't have to like Lofa to say, listen, yeah, man, what you guys are doing to this guy is wrong. And this is where we have got to be not sentimental and say, you know what? Let's look at the facts. What you're doing here is wrong. If we must remove the man, let's remove the man the right way. And I don't think we have any sensible person amongst these guys that have stood up and said, listen, yeah, I don't like him. I don't agree with him. He has no leadership skills. He has not done what he needs to do. But I don't support this process of removing him, because we can't continue this way. And I'm glad that he's doing the right thing. But can we take a few minutes, guys, to talk about, I know we may not have time to talk about the budget, but there's an allegation being made against the Minister of Internal Affairs. A lady is accusing him of rape. I'm not sure if you guys want us to discuss it today or table that. I'm not sure.
Truly speaking, I would not suggest that topic be discussed if you don't have detail on the topic, especially if it is just in the air. Again,
Why?
It could be discussed.
Allegation.
No.
Hey, you guys go ahead and discuss the topic if you want.
No, but I want to know your rationale behind why.
I just told you. I said, how much information do you have about?
There's a video. We have a video. We have a video. Yeah, there's a video. One.
Again, you guys, you speak faster than you. Let's not do this, man. I'm saying I would not advise that we discuss it if we don't have detailed information about it. Okay. Now, if you do, then present the information that you have so that all of us can analyze it. But if you don't have detail about this, like I said, if you don't have it,
okay. So you have the details.
Let me land, Robert. Bro,
you say the same thing over and over, but why I say the details.
You asked me to help you to explain something. I'm trying to help you understand it. This same is. Well, anyway, I'll give you the chance. Play the video. Play the video.
Listen. Listen.
Play the video.
Let me just explain the details, right? Let me just. I don't think the guys in the background have. But there's a video and there are text message exchanges of this young lady interacting with the Minister of Internal Affairs. They have verified that the number is his number. They've actually published his number on social media. And the phone company have verified, this is the minister. You can see him directing her where to go in the lobby, and you can see the video. The video doesn't show a lot, but she has a lot more.
So why she's accusing him of rape?
She's accusing him of rape, right? So the number has been confirmed to be his number, right? We're not saying he did it. What I'm saying is, I think we should just chime in on it a little bit.
So now again, it comes down to due process again, right?
And there you go, exactly. So he is.
So Robert, initially you said
the question here is,
you had a video, but now you don't have it, or you were. Robert, send me the video. I will play it. Do you have the video? Send it to me.
I don't have the video to send you. I've seen the video. I'm not the one who broke the news. All I'm saying is there are allegations of rape from a young lady accusing the Minister of Internal Affairs of rape.
Well, I think,
and there have been questions about what the government should do. This thing has gone as far as the government is aware. Some have said the man should be suspended pending investigation. Some is questioning the integrity of this young lady, so forth and so on. The discussion is not to denigrate him. The discussion is not to find him guilty. The discussion is to look at what we've seen so far. If you haven't seen anything, you can save your comment until you see it.
Okay. Well, I have Pee Wee on the line. Pee Wee would like to chime in. Pee Wee's calling the line. If you want to chime in on this particular topic,
But why you just call out and say Pee Wee won't chime in?
Hold on.
No, but let him jump in front.
Yeah,
Ben,
Pee Wee the wet.
Please.
yeah.
Lofa, hold on. Hold on.
Pee Wee the wet.
You know,
And they call, oh, I got Pee Wee on the show. You want to chime in? I didn't say that either. I didn't say.
Yeah, Internal Affairs Minister. Go ahead, Ben.
Lofa, you just defended two people from Lofa, and you brought another Lofa on the phone again. I got fun, not fun. But look, Lofa, here's the thing. I respect.
Hold on 1 second, Lofa. Go ahead.
I respect. Lofa, I respect the way how you want us to be careful how we deal with this.
Thank you. You take it out of my mouth.
It is the same way we have to be careful how we make allegations about Flantico. Do you see how
But he can call him for Natif. But he calls him for Natif. He calls
right. So,
Ben, can you say that again? Repeat that, please.
Lofa, are you listening? Lofa.
I feel like you're the fool. You know exactly what he's doing.
The man just embarrassing himself tonight. I don't know what happened to him.
No, but let Pee Wee come in. You mute that.
Yeah, Pee Wee coming.
Okay, Pee Wee. I told you Ben was just kidding me. I'm not trying to stop you from talking. Go ahead. Go ahead, Pee Wee.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
With the process. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Nobody talking. You hear me, bro? Go ahead. Pee Wee, go ahead. Nobody talking. It's just you. Turn it, whatever you got in the car off. We're listening.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I think to my point, I bet you don't have to worry. I'm not coming to hit what you're saying. So I'm just trying to push a kind of a logic here. But Robert, I just want to remind you something. You done the show, you caught the ticket, and they just let you flow your point. So I mean, I'll be on for a few seconds anyway. I'm not going to disrupt what you guys already.
My man, talk about what you're joking or you about
discussing this evening. But my point here is on the basis of we more or less sometimes just want to be sentimentally get this story and put this story out. We have battles in those stories. When it comes to the issue of rape, that's a very, very major thing in our country. And I think the justice system even emphasized time to time, particularly, we need to verify most of those things before we come out of this course there. Because even the law doesn't take lightly the process of the allegation of rape. So to just come and discuss in a year from the moving process of social media is a very, very delicate process. I would advise that to be a little mindful as to how we want to move this process and move on the allegation of the Affairs Minister. So that's my thought process. Now, quickly, before I can rest here, and I want to believe, we've been discussing the whole thing about the Speaker saga. Now, politics, everywhere in the world is not only about the rule of law. Even here, then I think you missed the boat today. Even in this country, sometimes they don't have a year to the rule of law and get this everything done. Sometimes they mix it, they go by the business of politics. And we said when they started this process, there's little politician that is clear. Of course, I've emphasized that the process about what was withholding with the Speaker was unfortunate. But if it is clear that those guys don't want to work with you, it's clear you can't get the number, you can muster the courage to know the number, resign the country and move forward. Nothing going to change. Nothing going to change. The Speaker is not, if the Speaker cannot get the number to change the thing, the guy's going to succeed. Now, why is on 14 years now? The number increased. The number is increasing. Yes, number is decreasing. It's unfortunate. So the rule of law cannot help this process. We have to move on.
Can I ask Pee Wee a question? Pee Wee.
Well, let the man learn, bro.
No, but my man, let him talk with the man.
Okay, all right. Well, y'all go ahead and see what he will hear you.
Pee Wee. Yeah. That's your opinion, which you are entitled to. You are entitled to your opinion that he should resign because he ain't got a number and legal process will not help it. That's your opinion. But that's where your opinion and your right stop. He has a right. He has the right to determine whether he won't resign or not. We can't continue to say he must resign for the country to move forward. What about the people who setting in an illegal setting? Why they can't go under in the place for the country to move forward? Why is it on him? Why is this notion that he one person? You know, for me, and I respect your opinion. I respect what you just said by saying that you think he needs to resign. That's your opinion. I disagree with you, though. I disagree with you. I think for once in our country, we need to do things the right way. We need to lead it, let it be so thing, and to do. You know how long? You know how many votes it took to elect Speaker Johnson in this country? You know how many votes? It took Matt Gaetz. That Matt Gaetz then went and came up against Kevin McCarthy. But Kevin McCarthy got due process. He went through. Matt Gaetz just didn't jump on and say, "Oh, I just want to." And he said, "But yes, there was politics involved."
Let me say, Ben. Let me say this quickly.
Can I ask you a question?
We all have expressed opinion time to time. Ben said he has expressed opinion time to time on numerous political issues. No one. I didn't come out to say what I was saying, but again, what I'm saying to you is exactly what's going to unfold. It's exactly what's going to unfold. If this speaker does not resign, those guys are going to remove him. It's going to be embarrassing. Remove him. That's the embarrassment we're trying to avoid.
What embarrassment? So you care for him more than you care for yourself?
Sir, this is absurdity. How?
The speaker is seated as speaker. They didn't present the budget to him. That's a kind of embarrassment.
What is called embarrassment? Pee-wee.
Who should be embarrassed?
Pee-wee, first of all, you know who should be embarrassed?
It's the speaker of the government.
The government of Liberia should be embarrassed. Not the speaker should be embarrassed.
Exactly.
You got embarrassment.
The person who is doing the embarrassment
He wrote a letter and said presiding officer. Then you said that the speaker should be embarrassed. How can the speaker be embarrassed? You as a Liberian, I should be embarrassed as a Liberian that I got a government that doesn't want to follow the rule of law. I should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed. This is not fanatical embarrassment. We missed the boat when we try to personalize this thing. Or he must resign. He will not resign. He will not. He said he will not resign.
And let me add to this, right? And the fact that
I want to ask one question.
Peter, are you done? Peter, you done?
I'm being interrupted.
You gotta close now. You gotta come on the show.
Peter, you said Ben should talk though. You were not interrupted.
Thank you, Lofa. Thank you for
protecting me. You should talk. Well, then land so we can get to other people. Because you
can I ask me one question?
No, don't ask him no more questions.
Ben, hold on 1 second. When he lands, then you can ask your question. Go ahead, Pee-wee.
Okay.
I think y'all did a Tyler. Y'all can do it or cover.
You see, Ben, but now you interrupted the mill.
Okay, sorry. I thought
you're about to say is this.
Sorry, Lofa. Sorry, Lofa.
This is not Ben. Ben is not a personal thing. I hope you shouldn't take it personal. I'm just trying to
Look.
Pee-wee, Pee-wee, go ahead, bro. Yo.
You gotta take it personal.
Tyler, I didn't do nothing with Tyler. Nobody did anything with Tyler. As a matter of fact.
But who say he does in the Tyler? I said y'all.
Yeah.
I said y'all. You neo-progressive.
Hey, you need this man low, bro.
You are part of that thing, the Mood Tyler. Y'all are part of it. You are neo-progressive. You are part of that thing. You are not part of it. You want to deny it? You are not part of it.
Yeah, we let him we let him finish.
So you want both of the legislative journal to see if my knee is there? You are. Look, I think, man. Honestly, that's my thought process on this.
I know, my brother. We'll talk.
Let me say this.
No, but look, I got one question for him, please.
Hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on 1 second.
Ben said he got question for him.
I got one question for him.
The other folks just left. My fear is that they may get the number and they will move on to do what they want to do. I don't want that to happen. That's what my own person.
Okay. So Pee-wee, hold on 1 second. Ben, not Ben Sanvi, but Jonah has a question for you. Go ahead, Ben.
So Pee-wee, my question is rape and corruption. Which of them have the highest crime in Liberia?
So the rape and corruption. Which one of those two?
Rape or corruption, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Rape or corruption, right. And which one has is considered higher in Liberia based on crime rating?
rape and corruption, you said?
Yes.
So basically, the last time I think we did some tracking of those processes that were unfolding at the time. The rape level it was exponentially high in the country as compared to rape and corruption. They basically almost on the same line.
So I don't think he's talking about the rate of the crime, though. I think he's speaking of which one,
the severity of the crime.
the severity, right?
Which one carries more weight?
Right. Which one of those actually carries more weight? The severity of the crime.
Corruption and that of rape.
And that of rape. Yeah. Just making the comparison, right? Corruption versus rape. Which one of those actually carry a higher, I mean, which is much more severe?
I would say, my personal view, I would say corruption would be the one.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think rape is.
No, that's true. It's corruption. Corruption is higher in Liberia than rape. And
No, rape
It's higher based on severity.
Rape is non-billable.
Rape is high.
Rape is non-billable. Rape is non-billable in Liberia.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Rape is
all right.
non-billable. Corruption is billable. You can.
All right,
Right.
all right, man. All right,
All right, Pee-wee, thank you so much. But let me say this to you, please, before you go. You were talking about your fear.
People left already, but
Are you
you
listening? Don't worry, you're listening.
You're talking about your fear of not having the speaker embarrassed. You talk about it's embarrassing that they are presenting the budget and not to the speaker. Don't worry about fear. In when we're talking about constitutional matters, when we're talking about laws and rules, there's no fear business here. And I don't think that the speaker is afraid of being embarrassed the right way. If embarrassment means that the speaker is left with one person and they have the rest of the folks to give him due process and respect the law, then that's a good embarrassment that he's willing to take.
Yep.
I believe that's a good embarrassment, because that's an embarrassment that I would love to be involved with. So embarrassment or fear of embarrassment should not be the reason why the speaker will succumb to a process that is unconstitutional. Embarrassment should not be the reason why we, as decent human beings and law-abiding citizens, succumb to a process that is deemed unconstitutional and illegal. For too long, we have applied fear. It was the same fear that got us to elect men and women that we knew, or we continue to do that. Some of our people have continued to elect men and women that we know don't have what it takes to uplift their lives and get them out of the situation that they find themselves in. We cannot apply fear to this issue. Now, the reason why I wanted also talk about this rape thing is
Rabbi Biggie, let me just say this. I just spoke to the Minister of Internal Affairs, and he said tomorrow, tomorrow, which is today now in Liberia, he will address this issue. So I would like for us to give him a chance tomorrow, because let him get what he say.
Oh, we can get our opinion.
So can I
we got everything. We got 5 more minutes now. We
Yeah, but
we can use it. We can use the end of the time to.
So
Lufa said, right?
So Timberland, when he gives up, when he
opinion, we'll talk about it.
Then we'll talk about it.
Even though Ben is not going to be on the show tomorrow.
Yeah,
Ben is not going to be on the show tomorrow.
Yeah,
and I know.
we'll talk about it.
And I know he's also listening to.
So what? The number is true. Like his number.
Okay, there you go.
Spoke, and he said,
yeah, Tommy, you're not a spokesperson. We
are digging deeper now.
Yeah, we're digging deeper. Then we'll talk about it when he talks tomorrow.
Well, Tamale, invite him to come on the show. Invite him to come on the show tomorrow.
So let me say this.
General, we don't have time, man. We're out of time. So
but let get 1 minute. You
don't got 2 minutes with me.
Yeah, we're eating the time.
We have 5 minutes. He said we're 2. But we're talking about it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You know what happened? You know what happened? The man talked to Malay, Bobby. Let the man hold small. Let me but listen. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. There have been questions about the reason why I brought this up, Ben. There have been initial question about that the lady was lying because the information of the text she sent was not the minister number. So the reason why the minister wanted to address this tomorrow now was because she went ahead and got some information receipt on the date, the time from the company and everything, and they published the number. And everyone
he testified
everyone in Liberia now knows that's his number. So they'll go ask him, do you know this woman? Yes. Did you have an exchange with her on this number? Yes. Was she at the hotel? Yes. But here's what I want to say. I think too many times we protect powerful men and women because rape does not only happen and women are not the only victim of domestic violence or rape, right? And so, but what confuses me here is, and I don't mean to shame this man, but I mean, look at this man.
No, Robert.
No, wait.
Let the man land, bro. Let the man land.
Let me get my opinion so the other men can come in.
Well, yeah, but
he went to get his opinion in the majority black too.
Let the man land.
Anybody stop him?
Every time you interrupt him, you're going back on time, though.
Exactly. Look at this man. Man, just look at the man.
Majority black. Anybody stop him?
Look at the man. Just look at that man. Look at that man.
Look back. Can you please put his?
You're interrupting Robert. Let Robert land. Go ahead.
Thank you for protecting me, Lofa. I see I protected you earlier. I protected you earlier, so thank you for protecting me, Lofa. But look at the man. Look at the man that ripping somebody. Look at the man. You see what power allegedly. Let me put a word allegedly before Lofa can check me. Look at the man that have allegedly raped this woman. You know what you're gonna say, Ben, tomorrow? I've been told. He will say that did he force her in the room? Wow. If she said I raped, did he force her in the room?
Oh, but you can, you force her in the room.
Yes,
Thank you.
You force woman in the room. When the woman says stop, you stop.
Even if she undressed herself, even if she have undressed herself, and she lay on the bed.
She lay on the bed. Once she utters those words, stop. You stop.
And if you continue,
you can be on cloud 300. You better stop.
You better stop. And if you continue,
my thing on this,
I really hope that in the next few days we can spend time, especially after tomorrow, and talk about this. And I want to see now what action Joseph Boakai takes, because I know that he lacks the ability to make decisions. And I will stop here for right now, and you guys.
So Ben, I want to chime in on this this, and part of the reason why, and part of the reason why I initially suggested that we hold off until we had more information on this is because the issue of rape is something very sensitive, to be honest with you. And Ben, you know me personally. Again, I'm a father, I'm a brother, again, a son, and I take these things very seriously.
Lofa, can you please share Dr. Peabody comment, please?
When it comes to what Dr. Peabody's, I'll share. Okay. There you go. You know, but on a very serious note, this is very sensitive because our society have fallen prey to this this gross behavior from both sides. It's not just men or just women. So when we are discussing these things, our expectation is that we discuss it in its totality, with the hope that people will be prosecuted, okay, so that it serves as a deterrent, because a lot of the rape cases in Liberia in past had just been much more of a brush over. People would be incarcerated for a few times and then released after time, or they would be, probably investigated and nothing comes out of it. Our sisters, mothers, nieces are being victimized. Why people are simply using this as a political, discussion or, talking point. And I don't think at this point in our body politics or, in this modern dispensation, this is how we should go about dealing with these things. It's very sensitive. I'm going to tell you this. If you were to have this conversation and invite other, women on here, their perspective on it would be far different from what you and I may think about it, not from a male's perspective. So that's why I was just hoping that we got detail on it. After his statement tomorrow, we can then go ahead and make the comparative analysis.
So
but it's okay that we introduce it and notify the public.
We're not going into the
right. And it was a good thing. It was a good thing that we notified the public of his involvement or the alleged rape that he may have contributed to. But going forward, hopefully by the time we get here tomorrow, we have had enough information.
So guys, should I share the number? Should I share the text in the messages? Should I share it?
Yeah. His new name now is Francis Rip Malley. Francis Rip Malley. Lufa, you can get
so let me say this. I just want to say
no, Chelsea. I never said anything about using the law here. Leave me alone. Go ahead.
But let me say this. I share the same sentiments with Lofa. I agree. I think we will wait to get as much information, but I think Robert seemed to have a little more information than we do, so he probably spoke a little deeper into it. I will get a chance to check it out. I would not, I first of all, the issue of rape is very serious. I'm a father of girls, and I don't know. I didn't even want to think about it. So yeah, I don't even want to think about it. But right. I'm just saying, I do understand, and I know in these cases it's very important for the victims to be protected, the alleged victims to be protected, because we have a culture in our society of silence. We have a culture of the men are be men, so don't talk nothing, or don't embarrass the man or something.
And our JMB nephew,
we really need to stop that. So I believe
that's why I wanted to avoid the political. Robert not trying to politicize. You see,
I would give him
the JMB nephew.
We were giving the benefit of the doubt to be heard, to hear his side of the story. But that does not negate the fact that this needs to be investigated. This needs to be investigated at the highest level. And I would advise him as he gets through the process. I would advise him as he goes through the process of investigation. He can recuse himself while he goes through his investigation. He can temporarily take a leave of absence from his position and go through the investigation to clear his name.
Man, ask the man to resign. Yeah. This leave of absence. Let him resign while the case is being investigated.
Why resign? You can't. I don't want
to leave of absence. That means
I don't want to say resign because if he is not guilty, then
he can still.
So that's why I say you take a leave of absence until you clear your name and then you come back.
My advice to him would be once it is being investigated, let him resign.
Benjamin, what your take on it before we close?
So my closing here is that I would like to speak to something that Lufa kind of talked about when the Honorable George was here. That it is, I think all of us here, we support people. We have our rights to support these people, these politicians. But I think it is wrong for us to blame people because of who they support. We can support these people, but we do not have their hearts and we don't know the way how they would turn up in doing things. So I think it's always wrong because if I supported somebody and that person turned out to be something very bad, I see no reason why I should be blamed for what I did. Well, I trusted this person. I knew that they would do this thing in good faith. So, and like Honorable Man said, he trusted the old man's judgment and he thought he would have done the right thing. But the old man did the opposite. Thank you guys. It was nice hanging with you guys.
I think my question was, what was the thought process so that people that may be participating in the next electoral process could learn from it? I asked a specific question. I did not blame the judge.
Yeah, I know,
but
I asked what was the thought process. The thought would be obvious.
Okay, no, it's not obvious. It's not in the mind of anybody. It's not obvious. I asked a question for a specific reason so that folks can learn. And that's part of the reason why we sit on this platform to educate and learn. Okay, so when these questions are asked, it's not to put anyone in the spot, but hopefully other folks can learn.
All right, guys. See you.
That's it. All right, guys. You guys have a good one.
Guys, great show. Great conversation.
Yeah, but it very. But I heard that Lofa had a meeting with Ben friend Delon. Me and Lofa used to talk about Delon on the show.
Since when it stopped?
No, you can't attack him. I bet you. Call Jelon the knee. You normally can call him. I bet you. Right now, call him that knee. That knee you used to call him before you talk to him. That knee you used to call him before you talk to him. Call him that knee right now. Call him that knee.
I bet you. Take the knee. What is the name? I still see Jelon as being a fake light. I see him as being fake.
No.
What else?
Look at the way he say that. You're not even sure.
Jelon and I were on the phone for an hour, and I told you repeatedly, like I told Jelon, I said, nobody trusts you and your decision making going forward. You are seen as that fake light from China. And Jelon will admit to it. He will tell you. Jelon sent me information to just verify certain things that are questioned about him. Certain things that I cannot state here publicly because I feel like I should.
But look at why I said that.
It's just for you, right? Just you.
But you know why the man sent it to the man?
The same reason why Emerald Conan told Robert he would come on the show, but then he barely.
And look at that true. By the time Emerald had lunch with Robert,
right?
Emerald had lunch with Robert and his wife.
And then he had, I dare you.
Wow.
Let me ask Robert.
Don't let the man lie to you, eh? Emerald Conan and I have been friends a long time.
I've been friends. I've been friends before he even called me, but prior to that, I remain constant with my view.
But you financially supported him and he disappointed you. So I
have admitted to that though. I'm not lying with the whole issue of disappointment. I agree with it. And I can publicly say if any idea to have DeLon removed from office was to be brought up, I would be the first person in the line to say, please let me
say for the record, I would never.
That's your business, Ben.
Let me finish. You know what I want to say. Wait. Let me state for the record, y'all Liberian people business. I will never burn my bridges with my friend. Y'all can go up, y'all can come down. Because at the scene Liberian people will make the whole thing around, they will elect the same people.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
But here's the thing: if they did wrong, I think we should all chastise.
No. If they do wrong, I will chastise them. I will call them out.
Yes.
But that thing where and they will make you see they will go elect the people.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? But the issue here is, you know, Koga a third term lawmaker, Samuel Koga.
But then
he dancing at dance in a room.
And we can be friends with these individuals, but I think the fair thing to do is hold them accountable. And I think that's part of the process of transformation. You can't say we will not hold them accountable because again, I've been friends with DeLon prior to his ascendancy.
That man is fake. He's a liar. Okay? He's a
and even liar. After DeLon was elected,
he's the fakest man ever in the history of
if you can remember, it was right after DeLon actually got elected that we talk about this in here. The next Saturday, I started on DeLon case. Okay, I started on DeLon case and I started to call him out.
Report on the money that
exactly. That's where Emmanuel Yato kicked me out of the chat room. Yeah. Emmanuel Yato was defending DeLon at the time.
Lofa went that way. You know, Lofa, he always let him bring America into there. He went there. He said the boy will do. They will fire.
Man, you see what you got the post saying now?
What is it?
More mobile say y'all will not burn your bridges because you always want to use them for your own interest.
Yes, your mama, I'm not responsible for you. I'm not your pa. I'm not responsible for Liberia and its suffering. That your business. Y'all go save your country. You go save it.
Eugenia, my sister, I don't want no call from DeLon. I don't want call from DeLon.
Yeah, man, Lopa. Whole day they blame me. You see, there's the thing they can do. Whole day Liberian people let blaming people. Whole day. Oh, they say me, y'all don't want to get all we are. I one vote. Oh, y'all don't want to get up, Boyka. When y'all were walking in poo water, y'all ask me.
Let it, man. Eugenia, tell DeLon to get all the calls to Lofa and Ben. I don't want his call. I don't want his phone call.
Me, I will talk to my friend, Yeah, but I will have my interest. I agree with you, Mo.
Ain't you my friend, Ben? Ain't you my friend?
Yeah.
You my friend too?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I will have
I can be fair with DeLon.
Your business, hold accountable. Hold people accountable.
That
You
man
got a country
perfect.
where the boy ain't ready. They both flagrantly violating the law. We arguing, we fighting, we causing each other. Then you got to I'm a hoe. I know that Liberia pa. I beg you, yeah. I care for ya. I care for my brother.
All right, guys. Good night, man.
Man, this is good.
Yeah, man. More, my man. You know I just messing with you, bro. Don't mind me. I just crazy. Yeah.